What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Salty Nerd Podcast. I scared Vader. Welcome to the Salty Nerd Podcast Tuesday live show event. I am super excited to be here today. I definitely need a nerdy little break, but I am going to get super salty on today's show. I've got some thoughts. And potentially could be our last live stream ever.
Don't do that.
I'm joined as always by Matt Vader 74. What's up, bro? How you doing?
Hey, man, how are you?
Good.
I'm here, and I'm looking forward to today. We've already had a hell of a day.
We started out.
We had a really
with
good time.
a great commentary that will be available at saltynerdclub.com soon. We watched Pacific Rim with a very special guest that I will get to.
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, it's Jude. It was your first watch.
Yeah.
It was your first watch, and you adored this movie.
I did.
Yeah. Welcome to the show, Jude.
Hello.
Thank you for being here. Hello. And the curmudgeon himself, Matthew Kadish. Welcome, sir. He did not watch Pacific Rim
He's
this
a
morning.
little curmudgeon-y today.
He wouldn't even sit in here with us.
No, I hate that movie. It's so stupid. But so we're doing it as a commentary track for our Patreon
That's right.
members, and also we're making those available. So like, if you don't want to join the Patreon, you just buy it like piecemeal and watch it. We've got Hackers from 1995 up there.
Masters of the
and
Universe.
Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, we're building our commentary tracks as you go. But like Kadish said, it is available to purchase. If you don't want to be a monthly member, you can buy the commentary separately. Okay, our guest of honor today in studio with us for the first time ever, Blaine from Criticless, the man himself. Welcome, sir. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Great.
This has been a fun morning talking
It
about
always
Pac
is.
Rim.
Yep.
I mean, I know he doesn't want to stank on it and didn't come in here to join us, but
I didn't want to prove all you guys wrong.
Well, you
while
wouldn't
you're
have.
watching.
No,
it.
there's no way.
I was listening. I was like, oh, these guys.
you couldn't have kept up with the circle jerk in this room, buddy.
Oh, it was an echo chamber for sure.
You would have just got goo, and we would have bukkakied the shit.
We were all
Yeah.
hard at the same time.
Yeah.
Brothers in
we
erection.
drifted
Well, yeah,
together.
Yes.
We did.
Yeah. We
Drifted.
neural linked.
We
We
neural-
neural linked together.
We neural handshook.
the four-way neural handshake.
Yeah.
That was definitely what happened.
Wendy's on top of things. She's already commenting, wow, 5 chairs. That's right. We have a new
Right.
addition to the studio specifically for this week because we have so many amazing guests coming into the studio for the Nerdrotic meetup. So make sure to pay attention to your favorite content creators on YouTube. A lot of them that
And
are coming,
also us.
and also us. A lot of them will be in studio here during the Vegas meetup. So check out their channels. You'll recognize the background and microphones. And
In
all that
addition to that, we've been wanting to get a 5th station for some time.
Yeah.
Just so like on our podcast, we could bring in like a guest.
Yeah.
Mhm.
One of us wouldn't have to sit out.
Yeah. We always either kick something like Jude was like, oh,
It's usually me.
it's usually
It's
Jude. She's
usually
like,
me.
I'll leave. It's fine. Or we just double up.
Just for me.
We did. Yeah.
I'll just take my vagina and go.
A little bit of housekeeping. As always, for our live streams, we want to get to 10 new members today. So if you're not already a member, sign up right now. Go over there and click the join membership area. I don't exactly know how much it costs to do that, but do it. It's like less than a cup of coffee. You get it. But you get a ton of great content available to only members. Plus, we do members only live streams directly after some of our live streams that we do every Tuesday. So you get access to that, plus a bunch of other library content that we've had in the past. It's well worth it, and we do appreciate the support. What else have we got, Kadish? What's the other bit of housekeeping that we need to do? Am I missing anything?
I don't think so.
Great, perfect. Okay,
Nailed
Monkey
it.
Man. Monkey
You're
Man.
gonna get right into it.
Oh,
Well,
man.
do you want to shoot the shit for a minute?
Don't we aren't we supposed to like string people along for 15 minutes or 20 or something?
He wants to talk about this so
I'm-
bad.
I'm
I'm
s-
dying.
I still don't know what I think
I'm
about
so
it.
mad.
So I'm
So
trying
You
to
need
push
to-
it back a little
You need
bit.
to marinate it.
I can't.
I went on Criticless last night and I made a review. And I was under the impression, I'm like, look, I walked out of the theater not thrilled about the movie. And I was like, maybe I'll soften on it overnight. But I had a really bad night last night. And now I'm like angry.
Not the movie's fault.
And I'm like, I'm going to take it out on this movie. So my rating is going to go down on the slider scale on Criticless. But if we want to lead into it a little bit and kind of just talk, Blaine, for people who don't know who you are, let them know what is the banner behind you? Who are you? What do you do?
Yeah, I own a website app called Criticless. You can go to criticless.com or download in the Apple and Android stores. It's for reviewing movies and entertainment, but just a whole lot more social. Think, your typical social platforms like X, Instagram, whatever, but as a review platform and functioning more in that way. But we want to make it a little bit more accessible, a little bit easier for regular folks to be able to use a platform like this, because at their core, reviews are they can be boring if it's on a boring platform. We wanted to take the boringness away, make it fun. make it exciting, add this retro synthwave neon aesthetic,
yeah.
and really add some excitement to it. And that's what we've did, and it seems to be working. We're about 7-8 months in, and people are loving it and growing, and we're having a blast. And it's just a lot of fun to use, and a lot of really cool communities starting to grow within Criticless itself. So yeah.
I was telling you, I think it was yesterday. I was like, I didn't know about anything about Criticless when Kadish was like, hey, this guy wants to team up with us and do some promotional stuff. And I was like, what is it? It's a review app. And I'm like, aren't there like 20 of those? Like, this is weird. And then I downloaded it, logged in, and I started an account, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I was so hooked. Just the aesthetic of it. Yeah. It's such a cool vibe, and it's like retro, but at the same time, it's like modern and new. It's really cool.
I've been trying to get 200 5-star reviews so I can become a reviewer on the site. I haven't been able to get there yet. So, but there's no like gates you got to go through.
No. Yeah, there's no gatekeeping.
You don't have to like go through the special council of wokeness to see if
there's none of that
appropriate enough for you to type on their sacred website.
Right. If you give a Disney movie a bad review, you don't get ghost banned.
Like, you can write a review that says this movie fucking sucks.
Yeah.
0 stars, push go,
right?
And we're gonna mock you for that.
right. You're gonna get hazed. You're gonna get downvoted.
But you can do that. You can get your message out there.
Totally. Oh, that is another thing
that you guys having to go through a bunch of gates and shit.
Right.
You guys chose not to pander to people's feelings. There is a downvote button.
Downvote button.
Yeah, they didn't remove it like they have from all these other apps.
We're not cowards. Are you freaking kidding me? Get out of here. No, if I hate your shit, I want you to know. I've become the downvote master. I'm just
that's a terrible review.
Dog shit opinion. But now I've got Alex's wiener emoji now.
So that's great. Yeah. We went to the movies last night. I'm currently on the carnivore diet where I'm only basically eating meat and like very, very little else. And I went to the movie theaters, and luckily the Galaxy theaters that we have has like a little hot dog stand where you can get a hot dog. And I was like, can I get a hot dog, but like just the dog? And the guy like looked at me like, what? And I'm like, yeah, it's a thing, dude. Just give me the hot dog. He's like, oh, okay. Yeah. And then these guys took a weird video of me doing like a Ramsay Bolton thing from Game of Thrones.
He was just handling that fat hog right in the theater. I mean,
it was pretty girthy.
No, it was. But
it was a girthy hot dog.
That's the thing now is like there's the debate of like who did it better, and there were I think
put the two gifts next to each other.
Nadia said that you weren't quite as girthy. So you didn't leave up.
No, his sausage in Game of Thrones was thicker than mine.
Oh yeah.
Well, that was a kielbasa. This is like an Oscar Mayer
that was
wiener.
English sausage.
But you had some premium flop on that.
Oh, the flop was real. The flop was real on that thing. It was a good hot dog though. It tasted great. Shout out to Galaxy Theaters. That is our favorite Las Vegas theater. If you're in town for the Vegas meetup and you want to catch a flick or something like that, go to the Galaxy Luxury Theaters. Any of them in town are amazing.
Yeah. Full service bar.
Yeah.
They're very slow. They're not bartenders.
No, they're like,
but they have alcohol.
Barely 21-year-old kids who are just like, I don't know how to make cocktail.
And sometimes they'll alcohol shame you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Can I get more? And they're like, what?
Well, they always ask you if you want a single or a double. And then if you ask for a double, they're like, are you sure? And then one time, the kid I was ordering from was like, oh, I'm not 21 yet. I can't ring that in for you. And we just stood there looking at each other, and he said, so did you want me to get a manager? And I was like, what do you mean? Yes, go get your fucking manager.
Well, there was also this one guy where you and a friend ordered a whole bottle of wine.
Yeah, we were going to split a bottle of wine. And he literally said, if that's how you want to live your life.
Whoa, no way.
Whoa.
Yeah, Tom was with us. Yeah.
Judgmental theater clerks.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, you work in a movie theater.
They don't say nothing about anybody ordering like a freaking bucket of popcorn.
Right.
They're like, oh, that's totally normal.
Yeah. I think it was probably his last day on the job. And
yeah.
He was just
what does that do with the ponytail?
No, it was a black dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because there was a guy with the ponytail that gave me a shade at
young
the bar
black
too.
dude. I don't think it was Galaxy. I think it was a different theater.
No,
was it Galaxy? Okay.
But I'll say, don't go into the exact one that we went into, because the freaking sound issues that we were dealing with during this movie was rough. And being that everyone has thick Indian accents, we're dogging on the theater. I just said it was my favorite theater to go, and then we're just talking shit about it. The mixture for the audio, we experienced it in Godzilla X Kong.
is the same theaters, theater number 4.
Yeah.
We went to Monkey Man last night and the same thing. And I was like, oh, the mixture for the
So if you
for the
go
voice.
there and the movie that you're going to go see is in theater 4,
Yeah.
just fucking flip a poster.
Yeah, be like, I'm not going in that one. I've heard things.
Well, we've talked to the managers like
Yeah.
what, twice? Like, hey, you guys got to fix the mix on that.
I talked to her again last night.
Yeah, well, maybe eventually they'll get to it.
Right.
Anyway, Galaxy is legitimately a good.
No,
theater.
it's sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome seats.
Excuse our bickers, but you know.
And
it
they
is
have
what it
like little tiny ones that you can go see. Like they do like retro.
Dude, their
watches
retro
or
theater
indie.
stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh god, there's Pride and Prejudice playing. They've always got
They
classics
do
like
the
Jaws.
Harry Potter movies
Yeah.
every year.
Yeah,
And 1 year ago, we rented out a theater at the
Yeah,
Galaxy.
it was a
Yeah.
year ago.
And,
this week.
Yeah.
Premiered
Chris
Chris
Gore's
Gore's documentary.
yes,
And also we screened Robert Meyer Burnett's film.
yep, that was a good time.
And you had your bachelor party there.
I did.
Dude, can you tell a story about how you got the Peterman from Seinfeld to do your bachelor party thing? That was pretty
Yeah,
rad.
That was
go
his
for
best
it.
man.
Yeah. His best man hooked him up with a cameo from. I feel so bad for not knowing the actor's actual name, but Peterman from Seinfeld. Everybody knows Peterman from Seinfeld. And this dude, I don't know if it was on the whim or if he has this thing just holstered, but it felt like he just created a story very specific
It was
for
a very
Kadish.
Peterman story.
Very Peterman story about Kadish, just on the fly, and it was the most amazing thing. That actor still has it going on.
Yeah.
That dude's amazing. That's good stuff. Okay, not Kadish. Blaine,
Yes.
talk more.
Talk more.
No, what's been your favorite movies that you've been seeing in theaters lately? I know we're talking about Godzilla. We've talked about. We're going to talk about Monkey Man. What else you got
Right.
for us?
Did you like Godzilla X Kong?
I love it.
Good,
Yeah, I've seen
good.
it twice actually.
Oh.
Which obviously, being a Pac Rim fan and just I like big monsters and big robots and people beating, these creatures beating the shit out of each other and that kind of thing.
Just say Pac Rim.
Pac
Yeah.
Rim, bro.
Yeah, Pac Rim, man.
Rim.
Yeah, that's what we on the
Get on
streets
board.
call it.
Shut it down. I'm gonna tell you right now. You need to shut that shit down.
I'm gonna get him divorced.
Right, seriously. Now, as far as I did really enjoy that. And I'll say I have been finding things that I really dislike lately. More like we were talking about Poor Things, which everybody was like ranting.
Oh,
about.
you said that was a weird experience.
Bro, listen, man. I that is one of the creepiest films I have seen in so long. I can't recommend it to anyone. And it's like critics are just blowing this thing wide open.
Yeah.
It
People
won
are
an
winning
Academy
Emmys.
Award.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. It's one of the worst films I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
Like badly put together, or is it just creepy?
It's very creepy
Okay.
due to the subject matter of putting a baby's brain into a grown woman's head and then having that grown woman body
that movie.
get like absolutely plowed like throughout the whole movie while she's acting like a baby.
I haven't seen that movie.
So
I don't
creepy.
think I want to.
No, it's gross, man. It's gross.
Yeah, that's not good. That we kind of like not joke, but we talked about like the whole creepy Hollywood thing that's happening right now. Like everybody, it's like the unspoken secret or whatever that everybody already knows about.
Yeah.
But then they make a movie like that and it wins a bunch of awards, and you're like, what message are you trying?
You're like,
to
you're saying it out in the open here.
Yeah, this
guys.
is
like
freaking super
you're just
creepy.
owning up to it at this point. And that's the thing with like Criticless too, where it's like you can come on Criticless and see that a lot of our people really dislike this movie. We have some high scores in there, but there are a lot of people who are like, no, don't listen to the critics on this one. This thing.
Yeah.
But what I think is cool is that you can actually like say why you think the way you do.
Right.
You don't have to just say like, oh, I give it a 0% and then peace out.
No,
You
there's
say I give it a 0%. Here's why.
Right. And you can go and check like I'm knocking things
God,
over. Sorry.
damn it.
This is
as long as you
giant
don't spill
foam.
anything, we're good.
Right. Yeah, but you can go on there and see the themes, right? And it's like you can take a look and be like, oh, the sexual and nudity, everybody's like fully broken down what's going on in this movie, and it's creepy as shit. And, or the political bias meter or whatever, you can go and quickly check.
What's that movie called again?
Poor Things.
Poor Things. Let me check it out. What's happening on Criticless about this?
Absolutely not a fan.
I'm really looking forward to Abigail.
Abigail, all
You
that
have to
dude.
see Abigail
Okay,
together.
can you tell people what it's about if they haven't seen the trailer yet?
It's like this group of people have kidnapped this young girl, but the young girl turns out to be a vampire and her house is fucking booby trapped. Oh my god, I cannot wait.
I thought it was the other way. I thought they got invited to like a danger room kind of event, and what they don't know is that they got the dinner basically.
Well,
we'll find out.
Painted out to them differently from what it sounds like, is they think that they're keeping this girl safe, but they're locked in there with them.
Basically, it's about this young girl who's a ballerina, comes from a wealthy family, supposedly. And she gets kidnapped, quote unquote, kidnapped. And then the kidnapper brings in like a group of ne'er-do-wells to basically take care of her while they're negotiating with the family for money. But secretly, it's basically she's a vampire. She's rich. She hires this guy to bring her people to eat, essentially. And basically like her mansion locks them in with her. and she basically just starts killing them.
Let's
It's
go.
supposed to be like super
The trailer
funny.
looks so fucking good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a great trailer.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah,
wait.
and Giancarlo Esposito,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
he plays the guy who like orchestrates the kidnapping, supposedly.
And
Wow.
Dan Stevens is in it. He was just in Godzilla, and he
Mhm.
was great.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the dude from Downton Abbey.
Yeah.
Matthew, I think his name is in Downton Abbey.
Oh, okay.
He's the guy who had the spinal injury in the
Yeah.
the second season or something. He's been popping up,
He's been doing a bunch of stuff
Like,
lately,
and he's really good.
and I think he was
Yeah.
actually Beast in the Beauty and the Beast remake when they did
Really?
that. Yeah,
Oh, that was him.
I think that was him too.
He's
But
just
he's
covered
and
up
he
in
was in Legion as well.
Legion.
The FX show about
Yeah.
it was like X-Men.
thing, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, he's been popping up in movies lately. I recognize his face from Downton Abbey, and he's become like oh, he's in it. Oh,
Right.
cool. Like it's weird how fast
Yeah.
that happened.
He just
Yeah.
has so much personality.
Yeah, he does. He does.
In
He has
Kong, he was just chewing it up.
I
as a
just
trapper.
want to see the kid eat people.
right.
gonna be great.
That's all you want.
It's gonna be great.
And her mouth kind of.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
this.
No, I got real like 30 Days of Night
Yeah,
vibe
yeah,
from
yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Which that's a movie.
That
I haven't
movie's
seen
so
in a while.
good.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's scary as shit though.
There's
Uh,
nothing
yeah.
like blood splattering on the snow. God,
Yeah,
Isn't
yeah.
there a new
We should-
Nosferatu movie?
There is
is.
coming out. Is it this year, 2024, or is it next year? Is
I think it's this
Nosferatu?
year because they've been teasing it already. So
Mhm.
I mean, the cast on that movie is stacked.
Yeah.
we were talking about that's Robert Eggers directing that too. He's just so good, and
Yeah.
he's just got such a vibe.
I'm like
do
a
a commentary
on the original?
30 Days a Night.
oh yeah, that'd be
That'd be fun.
Be a
Be
fun
fun.
one.
we have to turn the lights off in the studio for that.
Yeah.
It's gotta get creepy and dark. Turn the red lights on
Right.
and the lights off and yeah, it would be dope.
Hey.
What's up?
Well, I'm going to change the subject real quick.
Okay.
Okay. I think I had a Nic Cage sighting last night.
What?
What?
Yeah.
No
when I was
way.
driving home last night. I
Were you at Pops? Were you
I
driving
don't
by
know
Pops?
for sure. I don't know for sure. I'll tell you what. When I went home last night, I got pulled up behind his car, and this was his license plate.
What did it say? Let me see.
It says Lord of War.
Lord of War. What kind of car was it?
Interesting.
I don't know. It was just a car.
Just
But-
nothing fancy.
But you know, I'm like, I wonder if Nick Cage is driving that car.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah,
that is
so-
interesting.
yeah.
You just
So it's like-
doxed Nic Cage's license
Right,
plate.
right. Seriously.
Some dude out there running around with
The
Nick
Lord
Cage-
of War.
Lord of War.
If
Yeah.
you are the Lord of War,
Yeah, and you're
Pop
not
it in
Nick.
the
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're,
yeah.
you're a Vegas local, and your license plate said Lord of
Lord
War.
of War.
Yeah,
It's like that's a good fucking movie. It's like
Yeah.
It's a
okay.
great
Yeah.
movie.
But with Nicolas Cage, like you think he would like have that license?
I don't
plate?
know. That seems a little bit like high profile. You know what I mean?
Pretty good, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think he likes to keep a low profile in Vegas.
His license plate says not really Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I
Anyway,
just look like Nick Cage. Nick Cage.
I was just going through my stuff and I found that I remembered I took that picture last night.
Wow.
And I go, oh, that was pretty good.
You didn't pull up to the side like picking the window?
no, it was.
What's up, Nick Cage? I would
The
love.
hunt-
I know
the
he
hunt is on.
famost like refuses to do anybody's podcast,
No.
but I'm like, God damn, it'd be so fun to have him in studio.
yeah.
I'll
What a
post
nut-
it.
what a
I'll-
nut
I'll
job. I
post
love
this on Twitter just so people can see it.
I wanted to real quick welcome Beard of Liberty, a new member for the channel. Thank you so much, sir.
Beard.
Beard of Liberty,
It's our
Love
boy.
that name.
Helldivers Unite. Thank you, sir, so much for joining up.
He's active in Criticless. Too.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
is. He's on JT and R2 show.
Dennis Wright says it was some Russian arms dealer.
yeah, exactly.
All right, cool. Celebrating sightings. Yeah. Yeah. I could tell you a restaurant. I was telling Blaine about. There's a restaurant in town that you can go to where all the celebrities go to after they get done with cinema. I found that out. It was a weird thing where we went to this restaurant in the Arts District, and it was like, oh, it's stacked full of like actors from all these different movies. I'm like, is this where they go? This is amazing. Anyway, okay. We've got about 60 people watching. Thank you guys so
Nice.
much. Really do appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in. I mentioned earlier that continue checking out some of your other favorite creators that are involved in the Nerdrotic Vegas meetup. A lot of them will be in-house here with us at the studio, so check them out. You'll recognize our studio here in Vegas. We are hosting a good portion of them. It's going to be a great time. Can't wait. Some of them are going to have us as guests as well, which is also really generous and great. Thank you guys so much. Let's get into Monkey Man. I got to talk about it. I got to get this off my chest.
All right.
I got to do it. I'm probably going to be alone on my hill, but we'll see. Jude,
Yes.
you have the synopsis.
I do.
Take it away.
2024 Monkey Man, rated R with a runtime of 2 hours, 1 minute. I didn't do the financials. so
Good.
Just going to go right into it. There's a legend of the Monkey Man who tried to eat the sun, and the gods got mad and took his power away. Don't worry about that. This one guy wears a monkey mask while he fights. It doesn't really matter. He gets a job at Queenie's Club waiting to come in contact with the man who killed his mother. You won't find out about that till the last 20 minutes of the movie. All you need to know is that murder monks will save him and through drugs and bongos train him to become the one-man warrior India needs. So he bleaches his monkey mask. It doesn't mean anything. And then he goes back into the ring while his sort of friend whose life he ruined watches. Don't worry about that either. And then he has one last fight to prove he's ready to take on all the bad guys that are gathered at Queenie's Club waiting to get murdered the fuck up. Discuss.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's a fair synopsis.
It is. That is.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff that happens really has no consequence whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah.
Honestly, this movie could have been about 45 minutes.
Yeah. Well, you know, this is one of the things that I was talking about last night is like this movie is it's if you're a fan of Kill Bill and Quentin Tarantino, it's basically Oren Ishii, and they did that in an animated style in about 20 minutes, and it was fucking amazing. And this movie is just a pale comparison to that, in my opinion. But anyway, I'm gonna go maybe not last, but I'm gonna wait. I want to hear everybody else's thoughts on this first. We're gonna start with our guest of honor, Criticless Blaine. Go for it.
Yeah, I can. So I dropped my review in Criticless after seeing it and was really hype on it when I got out of the theater. Now after seeing it a second time, I've cooled on Monkey Man some. I haven't changed my review yet. I wanted to wait until we had this chat, but I definitely see the holes more now than I did the first time. I was just in like the right headspace, and honestly, Dev Patel, I really fucking like him.
I have no complaints about him specifically. He was great.
And being that he wrote, directed, starred in this, I was excited to see it, the story kind of behind this movie and everything that happened with it, because this wasn't, from what I gather, was not supposed to be a theater release, got picked up. This is produced by Jordan Peele. And so he picked it up later, then they distributed it, which after seeing it makes sense why Jordan Peele picked it up.
Yeah, I can see that now.
Know anything about him. And so with that being the case, I was kind of excited for Dev. I was like, oh shit, you know, he made this, he kind of bootstrapped it, and probably didn't think it was ever going to come to this point to hit theaters, and it's getting good buzz. And so I think I was just really hyped on it. But now after seeing it a second time, I'm like, it has some problems. This movie has some problems. It's not perfect. I still put it in the rad territory just because it is his first film. Like, this is really him stepping out on a ledge. I think he took some risks here. He made some mistakes. It does feel very raw. It feels very first time, but I kind of love it for that in its own way. And
what an amazing accomplishment for your first movie.
Seriously. Yeah. And I think if he can fix the problems that are in this movie, one of which being some of the shaky cam that is enough to make you just projectile vomit.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. It's like too much.
Right.
Yeah. And so,
I was just going to say, with the excellent fights, I'm like, you're kind of neutering these fight scenes because it's so shaky, and you're like going to show me a super close up of like a drop of blood, and then we're going to pull back out, and it's just like, it's a little too much. And if he can pull back on some of that artistic, like indie movie flair a little bit, I think he could be fucking a really good action director.
I couldn't tell if I was watching a Bollywood movie or
there's a mix of that, which is not a bad thing, because we all, I mean, I think across the board, we all really liked RRR.
I still haven't seen it.
You haven't seen that movie? Dude, if you want to watch a good action Indian movie, go check that one out. That is legitimately like the best Indian movie I've ever seen. Go ahead, V.
No, I just think he did a great job at setting up how dirty and grimy.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of gross.
It's very ground
urban
India can be.
India,
right.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah, there's a very stark difference between like the street level people in India, and then when he gets into the upper tier, like the richer, kind of like not grimier, but in a different way. When he moves into that atmosphere of like people hanging out with, it changes the vibe. But these are like scumbags who like, you know, kill people for money and stuff. So it changes a little bit.
I mean, everything that we here in the States ever hear about India is what we got in this movie. It's like everybody's super poor. They all live in shacks or little apartments with 40 other people
in the forest,
sleeping on top of each other. Yeah. You know, grandma and grandpa banging in the corner. Nobody's supposed to look. You know, weird. Just stuff like that, you know, and it's like now in my mind there's a secret fight club every other block, you know, where they fight. And
that was another thing I liked about it too, is that focus on India. He's like, I want you to see India the way that
there's no white people in this. Well, no, there's one.
It's
the guy from District 9.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Charlito Copley.
Yeah, is that his name?
Yeah. He chews up every scene.
Dude, you're exactly right. He every scene he's in, he's what makes it good.
But what I feel like we got a little ripped off,
right?
Because the only time I wanted to actually or needed to hear what was being said was when he was in the ring doing his
Right.
microphone,
His voiceover
and,
stuff.
and he has such a thick accent
Yeah.
that it was really hard to understand. And I'd blame that 100% on the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
You
there
know,
were
but-
times where it was some of the Indian actors, their accents were so thick I couldn't
Yeah.
tell what they were
He's
saying.
right.
But
Even with
the thing was with this movie, and I had no problem following this. I mean, that's a lie. I don't know. I don't know what the hell was going on in this movie most of the time. But it wasn't because I had a lack of understanding and due to the sound issues. This movie could have been silent.
right.
It almost could have been.
It-
Yeah.
And there could have been no dialogue at all, and they would have been able to
Tell a story.
tell the same
And it has some
thing.
badass music in it.
It did.
Yeah, the
It, like, some
soundtrack was
a
amazing.
really good soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But-
was like this the whole
Yeah, oh,
time.
yeah.
Just, I loved it.
Yeah, I was saying, where's our dance number?
Right.
I want to see a dance.
Yeah. RRR got a banger dance number in that movie.
And that reminds me of Slumdog Millionaire, which is where he got his start. And actually, I felt some similarities between this and that. It almost felt like an homage to his first.
there was so many
That started.
influences in this movie. As I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, that's styles from
Right.
Jason Bourne. Okay, I see where he's going with that. That's very Jason Bourne-ish. And then I was like, oh, that's Quentin Tarantino-esque. That's Kill Bill. There's a lot of John Wick in it.
Yeah.
But it switches gears so often. I don't feel like it has a consistent style throughout the entire movie. It's like it's a hodgepodge, especially for the action scenes. Like early on, you get a lot of shaky cam, and then it switches over to more of like Hong Kong stylistic action, like Kill
Yeah.
Bill style, and then at the very end, it goes to John Wick. So it switches styles throughout the movie, which I was like, I mean, I get it, but
I was like, can you just pick a lane?
yeah,
Well,
yeah, it
and
was
the
kind of like
art house
that.
Pick a lane
flick,
in this
like
movie.
stuff that's in there through the whole thing, where it's
Oh,
just like
the
these
trippy-
artistic,
yeah.
trippy, like
Yeah, that took me out of it. There's a lot of things in this movie that took me out of the movie that I was taken out of the theater. I'm like,
the pacing's the problem.
pacing's a big problem.
And that was one of the first things that you mentioned is
Yeah.
the pacing. Is
I,
not
uh,
right.
Blaine was sitting in the middle of us last night, and about I don't know how long it was in the movie. I leaned over to him and I go, because he had seen it already before, and I go, how much longer is this movie?
Yeah, 2 hours is a bit long for this.
I gotta
It
go
is.
pee, and I thought it was like an hour and a half in already, and it was like
It was not.
like
It dragged.
an hour.
Yeah, it's how he broke this up in between those bits. It just like drags it down some. And the first time, for whatever reason, it didn't bother me a lot. But when we ran our review on Criticless Cast Unhinged, it was the same thing where my guys were like, no, it slowed down way too much. I was like, you're full of shit. The second time, I'm like, oh, they're fucking right.
Oh, yeah,
I
they're
was
right.
wrong.
That's why I really try not to write reviews.
Right.
I gotta marinate for at least 24, 48 hours.
Yeah.
Give some
It's like I
time.
feel like it's too soon to even talk about it.
I wrote. I
today.
have mine drafted, but I never hit review or send or whatever. And I'm gonna go back and redo a couple things.
I'm going to put my
Sure.
synopsis in my review.
You should, because honestly, that was a
Yeah.
great synopsis, and it also calls out a lot of the issues that I had with the movie. But Jude, I want to get your thoughts. You seem to really enjoy it, so tell us.
Yeah,
about
I had a great time. As soon as we left the theater, Kadish was like, well, what did you think? And I said, that was a wild ride. Like, is this a good movie? Kinda. It doesn't matter, because all that matters is the lead up to the end fight. This is
Mhm.
this is what the whole movie has been gearing us up for. And I fucking love that last fight. I love the murder monks. I love the fucking bongos and the training montage. You know I love a training montage. Yeah, I had a great fucking time. Anything that happened from the temple on, great movie. Everything that happened before that, I was like, wait, is he? I didn't know what I was getting into. I got to the theater. I watched the whole thing about like the young boy, and he was the monkey man, and he
Mhm.
reached up to get the mango, and it wasn't a mango, it was the sun. And then it flashes to Dev Patel, and I was like, oh,
He's
this
the monkey.
Is this a superhero movie?
Yeah,
Is he the monkey and he lost his powers? Doesn't fucking matter.
No.
Yeah,
No.
doesn't matter.
I was really hoping that somebody was going to kill his alley dog, and then he was going to go lose his shit.
That was my main
that
problem.
would've been
Go John Wick.
My
Yeah.
main problem was that he didn't go back and get his fucking dog after that dog did everything he asked it to.
The dog was just a meat
gun
for
mule.
Yeah,
He didn't care about that dog. He just needed that dog to do a job. Trained it up good.
I'm just be honest with you. I don't remember a dog in this movie.
You were asleep.
I did fall asleep.
did fall
I'm
asleep.
not joking.
I did.
And I didn't want to be a douche because I wasn't entirely sure that he was asleep, but I heard that kind of like, and I was like, I think he's fucking asleep. And,
Yeah.
then I get the,
Yeah, no, it was the beginning. It was the first act of the movie. It was probably within the first 30 minutes or something like that. I kind of got bored and I kind of conked out for a minute, but then I woke up.
Did the hot dog put you to sleep?
No,
Dreaming about wieners.
Well, and I think that was part of the problem was when it would get to talking, we couldn't hear in our theater. And so you're just like,
it was a little slow after, because there's a big action set piece at the beginning where he's in the ring and he's fighting. It's kind of introducing his character. But then like it kind of slows down a little bit for the second half of the first act, and I kind of like, oh, I'm getting bored. And then it kind of spiced up a little bit for the second act, and then by that point I was just annoyed with all the other bullshit that's happening.
They gotta hook you in, man.
I get it. I don't have a problem with that. Yep. I was really disappointed.
And honestly, the theaters at Galaxy are so comfortable.
They're so comfy. Oh my god, they're so comfy.
It's too comfortable.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
Isn't a good sign when you fall asleep.
Right.
Yeah, you're right, Wendy. Kadish, let's get your thoughts on this movie. I'm really curious to hear yours because
everybody sit back.
You're pretty critical of movies these days, and I want to hear your thoughts.
These days.
Well, yeah, movies suck nowadays.
So I went into this movie really wanting to like it. I loved the trailer. I feel like the trailer kind of pulled a bait and switch with me. This is basically a Batman movie. If you watched The Dark Knight.
Oh, okay,
or Batman Begins, I should say. So basically, Dev Patel, like his family's murdered. He witnesses the murder, and he devotes his entire life to revenge. And so basically, he's poor. He's not like a billionaire like Bruce Wayne, but he like lives on the streets, and he learns to fight by going into these these underground boxing arenas or whatever. And his job is to basically just get beat the fuck up, and so like this sleazy fight promoter can kind of control the betting, right, with like his favorite champions, and they're all the fighters in this ring are kind of based around different animals. Like you have like the king cobra snake, and you have like the giant mongoose or something like that. So his whole thing is the Beast Man. He wears like a monkey mask when he does this, and he just gets the shit beat out of him in every fight because he's the heel. People hate the Beast Man, but he uses it to train himself to be tougher and fight. And all the money he makes from the fighting, he uses to help either get street hoodlums to help him out with intel, or buying like weapons or like whatever, so that he can infiltrate this organization where he knows that the person who killed his family like is heavily involved in. So the first third of this movie is all about like him infiltrating this hotel, and like he's very calculated, and it's all leading up to like this confrontation with like the guy who killed his mom. And I was really into it. I thought it was like really cool. And then the middle of this movie becomes a trans rights preachy second act. It's all about these transgender monks who like live in a transgender temple. They literally make transgenderism a religion by saying that there's a like the Hindu god is like both male.
Oh, both male and female. Yeah, they have a statue with one half's male, one half's female.
Thing.
Right, probably.
But like they kind of set it up in the first act where they talk about how like these transgender temples are under attack, and I'm just like, transgender temple. And then like the entire middle of the movie, it's about these trans female monks who nurse him back to health, help him train to become a better fighter, help him let go of his rage, and at the same time they're being victims. And so like once he gets strong enough, he goes back. In the third act, he goes back into the fighting pit, makes enough money that he gives all of it to these monks so that they can save their temple or whatever. And then they show up randomly in the third act as murder monks, where they're
murder ninja monks.
They're flat out wearing dresses. Every one of them looks like a dude.
They are all dudes in dresses.
Well, they did show the one boxing during the montage.
Yeah, but they're obviously dudes.
Oh
yeah,
just wearing like makeup and dresses, running around murdering like all these like highly trained bodyguards.
Ma'am.
It was almost comical. It was almost comical how they looked. But then the third act is like the big showdown where basically like he infiltrates this big hotel, has a big fight with like all these people, and then it ends on kind of like a Christopher Nolan type, like, did he live? Did he die? What's happening? What happens next? Blah, blah, blah. And overall, like, yeah, the pacing was terrible. There were so many plot holes in this movie. Like, it drove me crazy. At a certain point, I didn't care because like the middle of this movie is so long and it's all about like the trans monks. And I was like, I feel like this movie just took a hard detour.
It derailed real hard.
Yeah, it derailed extremely hard. And so like overall, like I wouldn't say that it's a terrible movie. Like I gave it like 2 stars in my rating simply because I'm like, well, like the action scenes are really cool. I like Dev Patel. But as a movie, it's just a mess. And you can tell it's like a first-time director because like he just has no idea like how to keep the narrative going. It's kind of indulgent with like some of the artsy fartsy stuff. I think that's Jordan Peele's influence or whatever. But like I wouldn't recommend people see this in the theater.
Same.
If you want to watch it, wait for streaming.
Yeah.
But overall, I felt like this was a movie that had a lot of potential that it squandered, and I wouldn't recommend it to people.
I could not have said it better myself. I am perfectly aligned with you. I was watching the trailer and
I hate it when that happens.
I know it's a weird thing when me and Kadish are aligned perfectly. It's very
something wrong
strange.
with you.
It doesn't happen very often. But yeah, I mimic everything he has a problem with. I had the same problem. Like I was like really into it. The trailer is badass, and I was so disappointed with the final product after being in the theater. I was just like, this is not what I was sold on in the trailers. The trans stuff took me right out of the movie because
your commentary when that started happening was
oh yeah, you were sitting next to me and I was just going, oh, for fuck's sake.
Son of a bitch. No, the fuck they oh, son of a bitch.
Are you for real? Right? I was so mad. I was so disappointed in this movie. But yeah, the several things that I really liked, like the Monkey Man mask and the vibe that he had when he put that mask on, the persona that it was like the Batman persona, right? He puts on the mask and I'm like, oh, shit's about to go down. This, and it had like the white outline because
I wanted him to wear the new version of the mask for longer.
For the whole,
he just like put it on, walked over, and then
took it off. And I'm like, what
was all that for?
What was the point? Why was there even a Monkey Man? Like, it doesn't. Did you top me off with scotch? Oh, you were asking for trouble, brother.
It made no sense.
It really frustrated me with that. I think that was a moment where I was like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Like they freaking hoodwinked me. Like, because he does this like suit up. He's got this badass John Wick suit and he's got the Monkey Man mask on that looks intimidating as shit. And I'm like, and he's about to go into this freaking bar and just wreck house. And I'm like, yes. And then immediately, right before the fighting starts, he goes, and throws it down. And I'm like, oh, well, fuck you.
It's like I took that as he went to the fight with his old mask on,
right?
Kicked everybody's ass, got the monks their money, which was cool.
And then he puts the new mask on.
Then he takes the mask, bleaches it out, and I'm like, oh, he just leveled up.
Yeah,
right, like level up, ding, ding, ding.
Also,
and then he's gonna go kick everybody in the hotel's ass with his new
what he does
persona.
He kicks 2 people's butts before he's even in the hotel.
But that ring fight was really cool.
The ring fight was really cool.
Yeah.
This movie has moments of like, this is amazing, and then it just hard downturns.
So he's been fighting this one character like the King Cobra or something.
And
he always gets his ass kicked.
But it's a rigged fight though. So like the whole time, my impression of it is like the whole time he's been fighting this King Cobra dude.
Yeah, he was taking the dive.
He could have beaten him if he wanted to.
Yeah,
and he finally got to the point.
No, that's not how
that's not how you took it.
No, I don't think those fights were rigged at all.
Oh no, they totally were.
Yeah, they're totally rigged.
He was taking a dive.
I
really he got paid to do it because he was like, this
is half what you owe me for taking that dive.
Double, and he's like, we need to make.
And remember when he was like,
okay, so but they're really fighting.
Yes,
the fights are real.
The fights are real,
and he's still losing the fight.
But he's told to throw it.
Yeah,
and he's not that good of a fighter, which is why he has to go
and train with the trans monks.
Yeah, right.
With the bongo drums. The bongo drums are cool.
Well, he was actually an okayish fighter in the first fight scene. My thought is actually why he was doing this was to prepare himself for basically getting the shit kicked out of him and be able to get back up and keep going.
Fair enough.
And so he's been constantly training himself to get the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah, there's a Rocky Balboa moment there.
But in this final ring fight, he goes in and he's like they're like hyping up the crowd and they're like King Cobra and everybody's like Cobra, and Cobra comes at him and he just like fucking knocks him out. 1 second and the whole place is silent and the ring MC is like, wow. and Monkey Man's just like, give me some more.
Yeah.
And they start sending out other fighters and he's just like done.
Yeah.
Send out Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of weird subplots in this movie. Like there's this one quote unquote sidekick guy who's like the big drug dealer at the hotel.
Yeah.
That he kind of like manipulates to get him into like the penthouse area where all the VIPs are. And they kind of strike up this friendship throughout the movie.
I had the biggest problem with this anything in the movie.
And yeah, so like basically like something goes wrong and Monkey Man has to escape. And as he's escaping, he the sidekick guy is like, Monkey Man, stop. And he stops his little scooter and he's like, hop in. And the guy hops in with him. And then the entire time they're escaping from all the bad guys, this little sidekick is like, what are you doing? Like, pull over. Like, we're going to get killed. And then like he runs away and then he goes and sees him at the fight in the third act. And then he just disappears.
Yeah.
It was like you could have removed that character from like the entire middle and last half of this movie.
Yeah.
And
he
you
could
wouldn't
have
have
just watched Monkey Man steal his car and done nothing.
Right.
He would have been fucking
He wouldn't
fine.
have been in trouble. It
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. But because he hops in the car with Monkey Man, they think they're in it together. And now his life is fucking ruined.
Yeah.
But also, he's kind of a dirtbag.
He was a
Like,
real sleazebag. Yeah.
Why was he even trying to be like, yeah, get in, I'll save you?
It was a redemption.
for?
It was like a stunted redemption arc for him.
A redemption arc for nobody.
For nobody who's
nobody-
important.
nobody-
well,
nobody-
yeah.
you know what it felt like? It felt like they had a lot more with his character and his
It
character
got cut.
story.
Oh, no,
It was
no-
already 2 hours.
Nobody
long.
wants
Right.
a director's cut of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Dev Patel does, but I don't.
Yeah,
No, I'm good.
it basically felt like a lot of stuff was cut out of this movie.
I am the everyman.
I actually, as far as a director's cut, what I would like is a director's restructuring. I think the like grand reveal and how they saved it and put it way in like the middle / end of the movie, it wasn't that surprising when we first saw, kind of his hands and they were showing the fire and whatever. We're like, okay, this bad guy fucked up his life and ruined everything for him and killed his family. Like, and that's what happened, right? Like you telegraph it to us in the beginning, and then you're like, here's the big reveal. It's exactly what you thought.
I feel like I've seen that movie.
Yeah.
before.
Right.
Yeah, in Kill Bill, they front load that with Oren Ishii, right? They tell you exactly what happened, and then it's all about how she got her revenge. And that it was like super satisfying little, 15, 20-minute segment in Kill Bill. It's the same, it's a revenge story, which I'm all cool with.
Yeah.
But it was like chopped in a weird way, and it just didn't tell the story in a satisfying way.
But also, anyone who's seen the trailer, like they know that reveal.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So like the entire time I'm watching it, I'm like, yeah, we know what happened.
Right.
We know exactly what
I
happened.
mean,
Yeah.
the first time we watched this trailer months ago, we were like, "Oh, it's Indian Wick."
It's Indian John Wick. And I'm fine with that.
But it's not, because the Wick part's only
Like it's like
12% of the
there's
movie.
3 like main Wick
Yeah.
fights throughout the entire
Yeah.
movie. There's one for each act, and the rest of it's all just trans rights and subplots that don't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I'll say the trans stuff, and it seems like Jude and I are on the same page with it. Like for me, at least, even the second time, it doesn't bother me terribly bad. It was a lot, and it was a bit heavier handed than it needed to be, but it didn't feel like how American cinema has been handling trans stuff, which is why I was like, you know what? Like this gets a pass from me just because I don't feel like I'm being bludgeoned over the head with being like, you must accept this. This is the message. This is how you need to toe the line. Like,
but you know what was weird about like the whole trans thing? And so like basically there are these monks who live in this temple, and they're all and Dev Patel has come out in interviews and said, like, this is a movie about underdogs, and these trans people are shunned by society. They're the underdogs, and a lot of them are about like healing their trauma and letting go of their hate and accepting who they are and stuff like that. But then like the minute they get the money to buy their own temple, they become like assassin killers who can just like show up out of thin air and like murder everyone.
They were like super stealthy.
They were already like that. That was what the note was for. Remember who you are.
Yeah.
right.
He knew that they were.
Because the one was boxing, the really beefy one was like boxing against the
really beefy dude in a dress.
That one was huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the whole thing like about, so like it went directly counter to the message. It wasn't like they were being directly threatened, because Monkey Man gave them the money they needed to basically like get out from underneath the thumb of like the people who were trying to take their temple, and they were the ones who helped him let go of his like hatred and rage and stuff
He
like
needed
that.
their help.
Well, he needed their help, but I mean like they were very peaceful people, and at no point did they kind of like foreshadow their turn to like ninjas, like
Embrace your
No,
darkness.
but it's not just ninjas. It's ninjas with bedazzled bell dresses.
They were killing people with their dress twirls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of close up of dress twirls.
There
in
was
that fight,
there was too much. I didn't notice that the first time, and the second time I was like, oh, that's cool.
That's a dude's
was
ass.
into it. I was
You know,
into
well,
it.
I'll say it's that metal song that kicks in, and
Yeah.
you're like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't forget
real
I
crazy.
didn't forget what was really happening. I was like, nah, I'm hard pass.
I have a way different feeling watching a John Wick movie than I did watching the last act of this movie. It's like oh, it's it's okay, I guess.
Peter had a shame boner.
No,
no. There were no boners in this movie.
I was like, God damn, I'm getting hungry. That's what I was.
Well, we were munching on a wiener.
Like, Alex got any more wieners over there?
Right. He's got him in his pocket.
Really want some
Is that a
Mexican
wiener
food.
in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? All the freaking monks in this movie had wieners in their pockets. It was weird.
That whole scene would have been better if he had the monkey mask on, though.
100%.
It would have been so much
100%.
Yeah,
better.
I don't understand why they threw that out.
I don't either.
It was like
made
he's
no
like
sense.
he decided that maybe the mask was too itchy and he didn't want to wear it while they were filming the last part of this movie. Or
Well,
something.
it was a lot of setup where like
I know.
basically like he's walking through the streets, he's walking through the city with the mask.
The name of the movie
is Monkey
fucking
Man.
Monkey
And
Man.
he didn't wear the monkey mask when he had the big battle. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what is happening? It's like Batman showing up with his cowl.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was like.
He's like,
Like I feel like he should have had the mask on up until he got to the penthouse where maybe like it got knocked off.
Yeah. Maybe when it got to the final boss battle and it's
That
like
was my-
mano a mano, you know,
Yes.
it's like the dude who killed his mother. Speaking of that, I do want to praise this movie for one very specific thing. Throughout the movie, he's shown to have these scars on his hands, but they never really tell you how it happened.
Yeah.
And I don't know if maybe it was said before and I just didn't pick it up or
they
whatever.
didn't.
But it was always like this mystery of like what happened to his hands, and it was like, oh, that's an interesting tidbit of information. I
It's
can't wait to
brutal.
figure it out. It was so brutal,
Mhm.
and I don't know if I want to spoil it or not, but like
No, don't spoil it.
it is very brutal, heavily tied to his mother's death in a real like just horrible way. And I was like,
I mean, the minute he showed his hands, I was like, oh, I know exactly what happened.
did you?
Really?
No, you're smarter than I
You
am,
are so
whatever.
smart.
I didn't pick it up until they showed it, and I was like, whoa! And it added a little element to the revenge story that I really
does.
liked. But there were so many other things that brought this movie down for me, and I just
You know,
I just didn't have a good time.
If
I
they-
could have, but it kept slapping me back out of the movie every time. Every time I was getting into it, it would be like trans rights, dropped plot line, bullshit.
I think-
and I'm like, what is happening right now?
I feel like you saw way more trans shit in this movie than I
It
did.
did
I didn't feel like
I felt like it was
I
a
think-
good 50% of the movie.
no,
No.
You don't think so?
It's not that much.
I'm with Alex.
It's-
Like,
it's-
the
I
entire
didn't-
middle of this movie is all about trans.
But they don't really talk about it a bunch. Like
Yeah,
you just
it's
know
just-
they're
it just-
trained.
it
I
is
just
what it
can't
is.
unsee the like 65-year-old man in a dress talking to him
with
like
the deep
hype.
voice.
It was hyping them all up,
But
and I'm
I-
like, ugh.
I mean, that was my whole thing where it's like they don't actually even talk about being trans, and there are other people in the commune that are not trans.
Yeah, the bongo
I feel-
bongo player guy was
listen,
normal.
I feel like society is hyper focused
I agree.
on these fucking weirdos right now, and I just in any little thing that we see in any kind of media,
It's a raw
thing,
nerve.
it hits a raw nerve,
Yeah.
and we're going to kind of blow it out of proportion a little bit. Is it there? Oh yeah,
Right.
it's 100% there. But you know,
Well,
I didn't feel like I was beat up over the head with it at all. You know, but and I didn't even notice it until they got to the monastery, which is at least halfway through the middle of
Right.
the movie.
I think that
So-
the biggest issue with this movie is basically it's how it's structured. Like there's this really cool scene where like he goes into this brothel where he's trying to escape the police,
Mhm.
and like the main pimp
Yeah.
is there, and the pimp for some reason
Just-
has a murder boner for this guy.
Mhm.
And he starts trying to kill him, and there's like this big fight where like Monkey Man has like handcuffs on, and he's fighting this guy who's like wielding an axe and stuff like that. And it almost felt like for the character, like he should have been going out trying to like perfect his skills by fighting guys like this early on, because it's like oh, like I know this girl, and like she's being forced into prostitution at this place, and I have to go like kill the pimp to free her and stuff like
Oh my
that.
god, I forgot about her.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, she was a pointless side character.
Yeah.
Who the-
Don't worry about that either.
Don't worry about that
the
either.
love interest.
The love
Right.
interest that they never did anything
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
No.
So like it almost felt like he needed to go through like a couple trials before like like he tries to pull off his big revenge scheme that
Well,
goes
he thought it
sideways.
was going to be so easy because he bought a gun and he
Yeah.
was like training with the gun to make sure that he
Right.
could like
Well,
shoot.
but what I'm saying is from a story perspective, like if you're introducing people to a new character, like for instance in John Wick, we see John Wick basically like unearth his like weapons, and then like he like kind of like goes level by level, killing people and getting back into the game. And I feel like if we were going to go full Batman, like basically this movie is a Batman movie, we would have liked to have seen him kind of like start small and kind of work his way up and eventually come back for a big victory at the end.
What this movie needed was the writers from Pacific Rim. And give us some nice setup and payoff.
I agree.
Christopher Nolan needed to look at this movie and be like, do it backwards.
Right.
Oh yeah, that would have been some good arty shit. You know, start with the third act
and work your way backwards
to the massacre of his childhood.
Yeah,
that would have been weird.
No, I think if you're looking for an introduction to Indian cinema, go watch RRR.
Yeah,
this is not the one. In my opinion, if you tend to line up with what I think about movies and you're kind of on the same path as me, go watch RRR if you haven't already. I believe it's still on Netflix. It's a solid, amazing Indian film that really showcases the culture over there.
Be careful you don't say it too much, or we're going to get inundated with half the population.
It'll be Indian bots. We did. We reviewed RRR.
Watch this movie. Fuck you. I don't want to watch that movie.
I don't know if you know this or not, but RRR at the time, it was a couple of years ago now, but we reviewed that movie and that video got like the most views ever.
Like
we were so hyped. We're like, one of our reviews took off, and then we find out later that was just an Indian bot farm that just freaking flooded our YouTube channel.
I'm pretty sure I saw a post today telling y'all to actually review a.
Oh, they still pop.
Yeah, it still pops in there every once in a while. But Lord Thoth says so pointless side quests. Yes, there's a lot of pointless side quests.
There is pointless side characters that they don't finish up.
I did see a super chat that said that I should change my review score.
Yeah.
I have changed it. I lowered it down to I think a 72.
That's still pretty high.
It's high, but I still had fun with this even both times. And honestly, Alex, your commentary made it even better the second time.
I was talking way too much during this movie. I apologize.
It was great. No, and I get y'all's complaints. It's just that, like I said, the trans stuff doesn't really bother me that much. It does feel like an intro to his filmmaking, and I think that there is definitely some talent there. And I think Dev, if he can just hone in on some of what he was doing here, maybe pull back on some of the artsy stuff a little bit.
You know, the real nefarious thing about this is that none of the trans stuff was in any of the
they tucked that away.
They purposely suppressed it from the movie, right? Because they knew that it would cause problems,
especially with
all us bigoted redneck people out here.
And I'm guessing with an Indian audience as well. And that was one of the things that I was curious about. Is like, is this a full blown hot button issue?
Because as touchy of a subject as it is in the States, in India, it's way more. So I can imagine. I don't know what the commentaries are from coming out of that country, but I'm sure there's plenty of people that are upset about it. But
that would be an interesting thing.
It is what it is, man. I don't know what to tell you. I did not enjoy this movie for several reasons. It wasn't just the trans thing. It was more of the pacing and a couple of issues that Kadish mentioned. I'm real low on this. I'm like, if I'm gonna rate it on Criticless, it's right there between like bogus and decent. It's like 49%. Right. It's like halfway for me, which is like 2.5 stars, I guess would technically be that. So yeah, I'm kind of real down on this movie. I would not suggest going and seeing it. If it pops up on Netflix or Hulu or whatever, if you want to check it out over there.
This is a watch it on the couch, in your comfies, and enjoy it as you will.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, this is not. I was kind of bummed. There was a couple moments there I was like, yeah, I think I'm good to go get another snack, right? It's like, I don't need to watch this part.
Go get yourself another sausage.
Yeah, go get myself another sausage.
There was a shot in this movie, I don't know if any of y'all caught it, where he's running on the rooftops, and that whole stretch of scene was cool, but there's a scene where he is jumping, and it looks like fucking Gumby.
Oh yeah, it's real fake.
Like, oh my god, what is going on?
Some wonky CGI.
Yeah, it was like one of the only bits of CGI in the whole movie, and it was a little.
It's a low budget movie.
It is.
I try not to judge. Like if an indie movie is going to do CGI, I'm like, right, it is what it is, whatever.
No, yeah, and it was such a quick shot.
Yeah,
it's hard to catch, but it was really funny when I saw it the second time, especially. I really noticed it.
Yeah, I noticed it too.
That's something.
All right, so I'm floating around 2.5, probably closer to 2. I really didn't like this movie that much. I was very disappointed, especially with the trailers that I was watching. I was like, oh, this movie's gonna be amazing, and I was super disappointed. My expectations were up here, and I got something real low. Vader, what's your? Are you still percolating?
A little bit. I think I'm gonna end up right around where you guys are. Probably 2.5 stars.
Okay.
I have no desire to ever watch this movie again.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I get there's some hype around this movie. Why was there hype?
Because the trailers were badass.
Well, the trailers, because it was John Wick
and critics.
Trailers.
It did the circuit of the festivals, and the critics are really hyping this thing up.
Yeah, of course they are.
Also, Jordan Peele.
Yeah, Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
I will say, as far as
he's if I see his name attached to something,
I usually
I was a big fan of Jordan Peele's movies up until Nope. I watched.
really?
I
Nope's his only
like,
movie I
what-
like.
really.
Believe it or not,
That's so weird.
That's the only one I like.
Oh man.
I just want them to go make some more stupid name skits.
Right.
Yeah.
A Ron.
Aaron.
You know,
I said,
because I do love. I do.
Key
like
and Peele's great. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Their sketch
Yeah.
comedies.
And
good.
I like Jordan Peele's like horror style stuff is really good. I like some of that. Us and there was one other one that happened. I can't remember the name of it. Them. Us and Them. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't have a huge problem with them guys because they're not taking old shit and wokeifying them and making them.
Yeah, they're making original
They're
stuff.
making their own shit.
I'm all for it.
And if that's what they want to do, that's fine.
And as far as a directorial debut for this guy, I think he did a solid job at the action scenes.
Mhm.
I want to see him do something more and maybe have somebody kind of clean up the writing a little bit to make sure everything's on point. Because
Right.
I mean, the movie it's when it comes to that kind of stuff, it's not bad. It's everything else that just kind of took me out of the movie is what ruined it for me.
Sure.
But I think if somebody else, maybe besides Jordan Peele, came in and produced his movie for him and like kind of straightened things out and made sure he had a proper setup and payoff act and all that stuff. And like, hey man, don't take the mask off. That's everybody wants to see the mask. Like,
yeah.
that's the whole point of the movie.
Exactly. And I think like I said, I'm right there with you guys. I think there's just too much weird, like too many experimental type of this is my first movie, so I'm gonna do all this weird shaky cam.
I'm gonna do everything.
There was some like Jodorowsky, what's that guy's name from Jodorowsky-esque scenes in this, and I was like, where is this coming from?
Yeah.
This is so weird.
Love.
I'm gonna rip it with love.
I really when he threw the new mask away,
oh, so bummed.
that really kind of
I was so
torqued me.
bummed.
I was like,
out.
what are you doing?
Yeah.
The name is the movie's called The Monkey Man.
Yeah.
Wear your mask.
Yeah.
When you're in your final act, you want to go in there and kill everybody. Take it off. You don't need to take it off until you're at the final boss.
Yeah.
Well, and you
And then
built
take
up
it
the
off
persona
and reveal
right?
that you're the son
Yeah.
of the person that this guy killed.
Exactly.
Like, look who I really am.
Yeah.
And then that's the God.
I mean, I was kind of laughing through the movie back then because when he's fighting the second to last guy, the guy who killed his mom, I'm sitting there, I'm just mumbling shit. And,
oh yeah,
and Blaine's laughing.
Oh, he was.
And I'm finally
up.
going, and he's like, "Oh, finally, you have gained some strength.
Yeah. You are now a worthy opponent.
You are a worthy opponent." And then I'm going, "Oh no, I'm your." At the end, I literally thought I did too.
I thought he was going to be.
That's what I was going to say.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
And I thought the love interest, like I wasn't sure where the love interest was going.
Yeah.
And I thought for a minute that it was going to turn out to be his sister
Uh-huh.
or something, because they didn't really push that he was like in love with her or anything. He just had a
like a soft spot for her.
He had
was
a connection
like,
for her. He wanted to save her. He wanted to help her.
Yeah.
And she had the same thing for him. And I was like, ooh. And he knew what her tattoo meant.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, they're from the same tribe or something.
Jesus.
They were both like members of this when like they like burned the village down. Like he knew her as a child, sister something. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry.
We have to kick Dennis Wright out of the club.
Why? What did he say?
FYI, Beam.
No, Beam
is from RRR. Salty's kept fucking up the name.
Not Beam.
It's not Beam.
It's Beam.
Beam.
I kept saying, so there's a character in the movie called Beam.
Okay.
But I don't know if it was the way it was spelled in the subtitles or something. I think that had an H in it.
We all called it Bahim.
I thought it was Bahim. I was like, oh, it's Bahim. And then everybody from India was like, you fucking idiot. It's Beam. It's Beam, not
I was
Bahim.
trying to think of what that was.
I forgot
earlier,
about
so
that. I
Dennis
totally
Wright,
forgot
you get
about
a
that.
gold star.
It's
Yeah.
Beam.
Gold star for Dennis Wright.
I need to watch it.
He's been a member of our channel for a long time, Patreon and elsewhere. Thank you so much, Dennis. Appreciate the help. Okay, so Jude,
every other chat.
You're next up. So we're all. I mean, you're 2.5.
Two
I'm like a 2.5. Kadish is
4.
probably like you said 2 as well.
2, yeah.
So I'm curious, Jude, what are you sitting at?
Well, what's crazy is that I enjoyed this movie so much more than you, but like my rating is right around the same place. You're just angrier about your 2 stars. So I gave it 50% on Criticless.
Okay.
It's about a 2.5 star for me. And like the whole first half of the movie, I was like, I don't really care that much, but whatever, the music's dope. And then everything from the temple on, I was like, fuck yeah, we're gonna get an epic fight. And that last fight, amazing.
Sure.
That is where all of my points went for the movie.
Okay.
Is that whole last fight where he's like taking on all of the fucking little boss men to get up to the big boss men. And like Blaine was talking about the other day when he has like the knife in his mouth and he fucking rips the guy's throat out. It was amazing. It was amazing. That last fight, great.
Like redeemed the rest of the movie for you.
I think it was a lot of fun too. But that's the thing, like with the critical score scale, where it's decent. Like decent isn't a bad descriptor. Like it's not the worst thing ever. It's decent. Like and that makes sense for me. Like I don't think it's you know, which I still like it more than all of you guys do. But I mean, it's not a bad movie. It just has problems.
Yeah. If I hadn't gotten that final fight, everything that happened in the club, all of that, if I hadn't gotten any of that, I would have been really annoyed about all of the storylines that they like started and then dropped. I would have been pissed off about that at the end of the movie. But because I got something that left it on a high for me, I was like, fuck it, whatever, who cares? But like as soon as we left the movie, I was like, so why did we pick that?
Because the trailers were good. I mean, that's really all it is.
I had not seen any trailers. I had zero expectations.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's why I enjoyed it more than you.
Okay. Yeah. No, I was hyped for Indy and John Wick. I was all for it. And after
it's actually more Bourne.
That's not what it is.
It's more Jason Bourne.
It's more Jason
and Batman. It's very hodgepodge together with several different
I saw my
styles.
first Jason Bourne movie the other day.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, we should talk about that.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, for the second half. Anyway, all right, that's it for Monkey Man. Leave your comments in the chat. Let us know if you've seen it, or based off of what we just said, are you going to see it or are you not? Let us know. I'm really curious. We're gonna hit the chat up now and see what we got for some of these awesome chats. We got Matthew. I think he works with you. Matthew, is that your Matthew?
Yeah, that's my Matt.
I'm not even gonna try to say his last name.
Verlac.
Okay, cool. For $4.99. Thank you so much, Matt. Sounds like Blaine needs to update his Criticus score. Yes, he does. Yeah, which you've already done. Right?
I did. I already did it. I did it on the fly. Super easy to do.
All right, cool. Yeah. If you go to criticless.com, set up yourself an account and go on there and review movies. It's a ton of fun.
It really
the app itself is actually enjoyable to leave reviews. It's like a little gamified, which I think you guys did very much on purpose. You're let's have some fun with this.
It's still pretty new, still growing, evolving, changing.
Yeah, get in on the ground level, guys. This app is just now getting ready to take off. So jump in there, get yourself set up with a good account, and grab those names.
The devs will listen to you.
Oh yeah. There's group chats where you can go and talk directly to the people who made the app and say, hey, would you guys mind adding YouTube videos? Which you can do now.
We did. Yeah, the YouTube videos are in there now, and everybody's attaching music videos to their reviews, which is wild.
Yeah,
but
I love it. So like for instance, if you're reviewing a movie and you happen to be on a YouTube channel and you've reviewed it with somebody, you can link your own video to your review so people can watch you actually talk about it and have a group chat like this, which is what we're going to do. As soon as we're done with this, I'll link this video to our review. But you can link anything to it. You can link a music video, which people have weirdly done for some reason.
Yeah. It's the MySpaceification.
Yeah.
Trailers or quotes or totally semi-unrelated things that you can make related.
Yeah. Or like for me, sometimes Jeremy Johns just says everything exactly right, and I'm like, I can't say any better than him. I'll link his video to a freaking review and be like, this is kind of what I think. I'll leave mine and put it in there. What do you call people who just
that serves a low effort shit missile?
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
I still think we should make an achievement for this. You just drop a bunch of low effort shit missiles, you're gonna get a badge.
It's like,
dude, that's a great idea, bro.
I watched this movie, but I made a video about it. Go watch that.
Yeah,
because I don't want to
low effort shit.
I don't want to type.
It pops up a little turd with a rocket with a turd painted on the side of it. You are the low effort shit missile.
Because you'll go in there and you'll see reviews that are only the slider. It's like a slide. It goes from 0 to 100. And it slides, and then there's nothing, no description whatsoever.
Type a couple sentences.
Just put something in there, or at least fill out the little mini sliders.
The sliders are nice, and
those are great, dude. Honestly, if you just do all of the sliders, that's 90% of the work is done.
Right,
and you can actually write your review in the text of the slider.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, you can put specific stuff for whatever the problem is in the sliders.
Hold on, I have to ask Jude. I'm looking at I have it open on my app right now. Jude, what is the name that you chose in Criticless?
Scooby Snacks.
Scooby Snacks review.
Okay. Yeah.
I have been wondering who you were in the app.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I love it. I'm so glad you stole that. That's another thing too, guys. This is the ground level for this app. So get in there and claim those names.
I didn't want to use pussy.
Don't follow all of us. We're all.
We're all on there.
Scooby Snack, Salty.
Yeah, Salty Nerd.
We need to content creator your account because we haven't. You weren't.
Don't worry about it. I don't care.
No, it's you.
All right, let's see. We've got a couple more super chats in here. We got a gifted membership from Samuel Schwager. Swagger. Whatever. Swagger? Good last name though. Gifted membership. Thank you so much. Nice. I appreciate that. Awesome. I'm sure whoever got accepted that gifting membership will also appreciate it. I cannot talk. William Forbes for $2. I think he's in town. We're gonna meet him at some point in time this week. I'm really looking forward to it. $2. Yo, S&P fam. I hope everyone is doing well. Just joined. Awesome. Thank you so much for becoming a member. And
he wasn't a member. He was a member.
I thought he was. Maybe you need to re-up it. I don't know. But thank you, William.
William, hit us up on Discord.
Yeah, let us
Yeah.
know where you're at. We'll take you out to dinner, buddy. I'm really looking forward to meeting you in person.
Or we'll allow you to take us to dinner.
Well, maybe he'll cook for us.
Oh yeah, he's a chef.
Hey, I got a kitchen in my
you
room.
do?
Yeah, we're all gonna hang
Blaine-
out at Blaine's.
Blaine
hotel
got like a
room.
penthouse at the
Right.
Hilton or something like
Yeah.
that.
Oh.
This is so strange.
Oh no!
You can even wash your clothes in the washer and dryer while they're there. It is.
Oh,
huge
okay.
party.
We'll get to that. Let me get
Okay.
to a late night. Hey, nerds, and Criticless Man, LOL. Thank you so much, Cap, for the $2. Congratulations on 1,000 subscribers. buddy.
Yeah.
You just hit that milestone. That's fantastic. I'm really happy for you. Your content, your mystery content's
And
amazing.
Did it without James Mangold.
Yeah.
JT will be here in a couple of weeks.
Awesome. Right on. Yeah. Another $5 from JT says we post our Criticless reviews after the weekend. Yeah. Awesome.
Low effort shit missiles.
They are not, are they?
No. They have a good balance.
Okay,
It depends
okay.
on- but now they've started doing their YouTube reviews and stuff.
Yeah,
attaching
and they
but
link
it's
it in
cool.
there.
Yeah, and they'll link it. And they'll
Watch
do
our
reviews.
review.
Nah, you don't have to write a freaking essay, but at
No,
least
no.
put a paragraph or two in there. Just put your
Okay.
thoughts in there.
I just like to give JT a little crap.
I know. He's a good guy.
Or like
This is
I
a
did.
good-
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
Hey, that's
Say
all
that.
you need.
That's
for a
all you
specific
need.
reason.
That is the definition
That is.
of a low effort shit
I
missile.
know.
No,
I
saying
like
fuck
this-
yes.
I like this movie.
I said Corbin Nash. I was like, this movie's worth watching.
Yeah,
I don't know how
did
much.
the same thing.
how
I'm
much-
guilty. I'm
Don't
guilty.
worry about it because I synopsed the shit out
Yeah.
of Corbin.
No,
Nash.
Yeah, I'm guilty of it too because I took your 100% down to 50%.
Yes, you did.
I
Yes, you
said
did.
this
You gave
movie
it a
is
focused
not
review.
worth watching. That was my review. Terrible. So yeah,
I still
we
need to
did
see
we
it.
did that
Sounds-
live on last week's
Right.
live stream.
Yeah.
I
He's
saw
all.
y'all-
I'm
I'm
giving
like,
it.
no,
what-
no,
I don't
no, it
remember
ain't
what I
gonna
gave it. It wasn't 100%. It was something reasonable. I think it was like in the 70s or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a fun movie. It's ridiculous. Go watch Corey Feldman be a creepy vampire.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
$10 from Willie Forbes. Unfortunately, I won't be able to come to Vegas.
Ah,
God dang it. I have some family emergency things coming up. I'm so sorry about that,
Yes.
man. I'm dealing with some family shit right now too. But good news is I can use my Vegas trip money for a new graphics card so I can jump into Helldivers.
hell
The
yeah.
redemption is
Not bad.
real.
Not bad.
The redemption is real. Helldivers
my boy.
unite. Dude, join us. The bots are back. Did you guys see that?
Oh, they are?
We will-
Yes, we got a new major order. The I can't remember what the name of the movement was, but the bots had been talking about it. and
10,000 plus super ships.
They
coming in.
they came in with an invasion force.
Jesus
Apparently,
Christ.
the ones that we've been fighting so far are just a reconnaissance group,
Oh, wow.
and the real invasion has started as of
Okay.
like this morning.
Oh,
So
damn.
The major order
Yeah.
is right now all hands on deck against the automatons. They are gaining ground,
Yeah, this
headed for Super Earth
So
right
this,
now.
This is like a pack rim scenario.
Yes.
They were just
Stop,
probing.
stop making pack.
It's gonna be a thing.
No, I'm all for it, dude. I'm so jazzed about Helldivers.
This is-
Vader's like, you got the itch, bro. You're so screwed.
We're gonna call this the pack rim job.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah, the new major orders
We're killing
from
it.
high command right now.
How much is
I don't know.
that?
I'm on my second glass right now. I'm doing all right though. I'm a little fuzzy, but it's
I'm
okay.
just trying to see how much of this bottle's left.
William Forbes, I cannot wait for you to jump into Helldivers. What do we got? You're looking at the camera right now. Show us what we
It's
got.
like half, oh,
Are you
50%.
blind? What is wrong with you?
the
Like
bun-
50%.
the Buna had a bless.
That's the name. You got it.
Hobbin.
You got it on the first try.
Yeah.
Impressive. I'm proud of you.
You got
Great job, buddy.
Celtic people.
Shout out to Dr. Target, who always keeps us stocked with good scotch.
it. Mhm.
Appreciate that, sir. Look forward to his next meetup. He comes here at least once a year.
Yeah,
Comes out to Vegas and hangs out with us. Super generous guy.
Gave us a huge picture of Todd Stash.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a giant banner of Todd What did you say his last name?
Stashwick.
Stashwick. The guy from season 3 of Picard, the shithead from Chicago.
Monkeys.
What is this? Captain what? Shaw, right?
No,
Captain Shaw in
Captain Shaw.
yeah, Captain Shaw from Star Trek episode season 3, and it's got like salty nerds.
We don't have a
on it.
wall big enough. To
I really don't. I'm like, I could put it under the TV. I guess. I don't know. It's just weird to have Todd Stashwick in the background of our studio all the time. Yeah, Def Row says for democracy. Yes,
Right.
Mhm.
if you haven't already, I highly recommend going and playing Helldivers. It is a phenomenal game.
That's rad.
PS4 or PS5 and PC players, cross-platform. So jump in and join us. We have a special Discord app, like just for our
Okay.
little mini group of
Our squad.
Helldivers. We also have a Twitter
Squad
group
chat.
as well.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in playing, reach out to us. We'll jump you in there. It'll be
More the
fun.
merrier. We need people
Yeah.
to play. I don't like to play with strangers.
No, I don't either.
I don't mind it. I really enjoy like the whole SOS call thing, because like if you're in the game and you're having a really hard time and you're like, oh god, I'm gonna freaking die, I'm not gonna finish this mission, you throw an SOS beacon
I've never.
and then a bunch of top-notch dudes will be like
No shit.
bloop, and you're
That's
like, oh
funny.
shit, there's a low-level guy, needs some help. And you'll have dudes like rank 80,
That's
rank
badass.
90, just hop in and be like, I'll help you out. And you're just like, whoa.
Pretty sick.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's a great feature. I love doing it. I'm what, level 40, I think, 41 or 42, and
I'm still like level 16.
I love going in
Dude,
and
I'm like
helping
level
people out, dude. It's so
9.
satisfying. Helldivers is a fantastic.
It's been
game.
fun. Like we're working on our gaming channel, so I don't want to push that too much here today, but that's what we're doing.
I'm gonna read it. It's not a super chat, but we owe William Forbes at least this much. Thanks everybody. Unfortunately, I had a health scare. I've got to try and come to Vegas at another time. It's on my bucket list.
Right on.
To go to Vegas at least once. Yeah, for sure, man. Come out here. We'll roll out the red carpet.
You're welcome
for you.
anytime you want to come.
Yep, absolutely, man. I'm really bummed I'm not gonna get to meet you this time around, but we'll get you out here eventually.
He'd probably just get lost in the crowd anyway this week.
I want him to go to
Some
all the
people
restaurants and
listen
just dog on them for how shitty their food is.
Which restaurants?
I don't know any of them.
There's a lot of
There's a lot of really good restaurants out here.
We're gonna do something really fun on Saturday.
Yes, yeah, we're taking Blaine out.
Oh, yeah.
One of our
Listen,
favorite.
Stop.
What?
You quit talking about stuff I can't go to.
Oh,
You're not going?
No, I gotta work
I thought you took
because
the
we
week
schedule
off.
things on days that I work.
That makes me sad.
I thought you took the week off.
I took 3 days,
He took the week off, not the weekend.
so it's okay.
Oh, dang.
Because you have
him,
Monday,
talk
Tuesdays.
about it.
A week
Yeah.
is
The place is closing, so you guys better get there.
Yeah. Lost Spirits
This
is
their last month. in
they're closing
operation.
out in the last of the month, and it's one of our favorite spots in town as locals to go hang out. It's such a
Yeah.
freaking cool vibe, and
So
the tickets are reasonably priced, which is probably the problem.
Right.
Well, only for locals.
Yeah. But I mean, even for somebody
They
visiting,
have a
I think
locals discount.
it's a 50%.
Really?
You didn't know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, man. Locals are 50%. You got to go before it closes down.
That's not gonna happen.
You don't think so?
Nah,
You can make it happen
I don't have the time. So
on Monday.
I don't know. We'll see.
You and Story need to go. Leave.
Now that I don't know. I didn't know there was a discount. That's cool. Is
Yeah.
it just on the entrance or is it food and everything?
It's for the whole thing. Oh, food is a different thing.
There's no food there.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's no
there's not?
food.
Yeah.
No. I mean, they have a package that you can buy where you get like a dinner, like a
Oh.
I
6-course
heard the
meal or
food
something.
sucks.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, I think
Then
they
my wife
And I
wouldn't like
think
it then.
that's what killed them.
really
Yeah, is that they made it this like
experience. Like it was expensive too.
Because I follow the Vegas Starfish and she reviewed them and she
Yeah.
was like the experience was amazing, but the food was terrible.
Oh
that's
no.
not-
Well, they don't have a kitchen there, so they have to have it made at Area 15,
Mhm.
and then they have to bring it over.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, who knows, man? It's a weird scenario. Let's see. William Forbes, $2. Alex, deal. That sounds fun, and I'll cook for y'all.
Hey!
Oh man, you're so generous. That's awesome. Vader has FOMO.
I do.
Wendy Hunter.
It's like it's annoying.
I know,
Yeah.
we missed you the first night I got in too. And
Yeah, because I was working.
Yeah.
I work nights.
Yeah, but I mean, I had to work the next day. You got to take care of.
Which is why we need people to join the Patreon.
That's right.
Right.
So Vader can quit his job.
And we need 9 more memberships today if we can do it.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. What's the we kind of floated the idea of talking about something for the second half of the show.
Jason Bourne.
Jason Bourne, right? Okay,
I
so
haven't-
Jude.
I can't talk about that because I haven't seen it in years. But
Right.
you guys go.
Well, you've seen most of them, right?
Yeah,
Have you
but
seen them? Because Jude never seen them before.
I've never seen any of them except now I have seen the first one.
Okay,
Born Identity.
so you
Well,
asked.
you thought you'd seen him, but then you were like, when we were watching the movie, you're like, I've never seen this before.
Yeah.
She did one of those things where she was like, oh, that Jason Bourne movie's dumb.
I was like, oh, I
Like
don't think
what?
I like those.
oh, is that like somebody who doesn't like Pacific Rim? Because
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I
Pac
actually
Rim.
saw Pacific
movie's
Rim.
dumb.
Pac Rim.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think-
Call it
No,
Pac
it's
Rim.
Pac
We're gonna
Rim.
make it a thing.
Not Pac.
We're making it a thing.
yeah.
Pac
Pac
Rim
Rim.
unite.
Pac
Drop it in the chat.
Yeah,
Pac
yeah,
Rim.
Pac
Pac
Rim.
Rim.
This is
All right. Yeah. Bourne.
Identity.
The Jason Bourne series. It was like the big thing back.
it
in the day.
was. And who would have imagined that he could be such a badass?
Yeah.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
none of
yeah.
us
Matt
would've
Damon.
predicted
Matt Damon.
Well, the whole thing about the Bourne series is that so the first one was directed by Doug Liman, who did Swingers, but he also did like Edge of Tomorrow. Or,
And he also kind of just did Roadhouse.
yeah,
We don't
exactly.
talk about
That was his.
Oh, we don't
We
talk
don't have
about
to
that.
talk
We
about
don't
that.
talk about that.
But after the first one, he stepped away, and this guy named Richard Greengrass took over. And he used to be a cinematographer, but he came in, and he's the one who popularized the shaky cam action scene.
Mhm.
And some of those Bourne movies, the camera's shaking so much you can't tell what the hell's going on.
Which is part of our issue with Monkey Man. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's like, what is
But
happening on
it was
screen?
Paul Greengrass who popularized that through the Bourne series. He's the guy. He's the guy.
I think you'll be proud of this. Since you're such a Jeremy Renner fan, I think his Bourne movie is my
Bourne
favorite.
Legacy or
Legacy,
Legend or
or-
something like that.
Okay,
think
well,
it's
don't
Legacy.
spoil anything
No, I
because I,
won't,
do
but
want to end up watching.
I
them
think
all.
that's my favorite of the bunch. Actually, is the one that he is in.
Mm.
I-
Jeremy Renner's. Is
Yeah,
awesome.
big fan of Jeremy's, and he was supposed to basically take over that franchise from Matt Damon. But unfortunately, I don't think it did.
It didn't do as well as it was
box
supposed
office.
to.
Yeah. So like, didn't they do
And then
like?
he had that terrible accident.
Well, that was years later.
very
That was recent.
I don't think
That
I've
was really
seen it.
recent. Yeah.
You
but-
haven't seen his?
I don't think is it like
His
is it a different character?
It's
Yeah,
a different
yeah.
character, and
It's in the same universe.
It's kind of like
Okay,
it was
so-
like a soft.
Wait.
reboot.
So it's a Jason Bourne saga.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It's a
Well,
Jason
'cause-
Bourne movie without Jason Bourne.
Well, no.
I
What
believe it's called a legacy.
what they did was basically they're making it the Treadstone universe because they actually made a Treadstone show
Mm-hmm.
on Stars or something like that. Was supposed to. Like,
I'm just
carry
being a
on
little salty.
the universe, but Jeremy's whole thing was like it was actually like a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
I thought because I didn't like the second and third Jason Bourne's.
Oh, the Born Ultimatum I thought was good.
I liked it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, you guys like Pacific Rim.
Oh,
Exactly.
whatever.
We have
Hey, you know what?
exquisite taste.
Pac-Rim.
You know what? Here's something. Clark says, I wonder if Kadish has heard of Pac Rim.
I don't think he
And then
has.
this other one, where's it? Somebody just said,
He can't handle the pack.
oh my God. Somebody just said something about Pac Rim. It was had to do with Kadish. I lost the chat. I don't know where. But yeah, we're getting a lot of Pac Rim. Salty Nerd Podcast. Pac Rim. That's us. Pac Rim from Wendy.
Love the chat.
John Parks says Pac Rim.
Not natural.
Hell yeah.
Not natural.
You just got rim
You got-
jobs.
You just got pack rim.
You got Pac Rimmed. Yeah, there it is. There it is. I found it. Yeah, you got Pac Rimmed, Kadish.
Hell yeah.
We got another $2 super chat from William Forbes. Says best line. Jesus Christ.
It
Jason
really
Bourne.
is.
It was so good. It's memeified at this
It's
point.
so
now.
memed.
It's so memed.
There are so many hilarious
Yeah,
like
yeah.
TikToks and stuff where they
Yeah.
tie it
Where
in.
it's like
Great.
some dude just biffs it hard.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne.
Oh no.
some like idiot with nunchucks and
Yeah.
he's like smacking himself in the head.
You want to tell me why you laid hands on my son? Well, he stole John Wick's car, sir.
Oh, fuck.
It's nice knowing you, kid.
Yeah. Do you know about the Baba Yaga? God, those are. I want to revisit the first three
You
John
can
Wick movies.
absolutely.
Just not the Looney Tunes.
Just
new
not
one.
the Looney Tunes
I
version.
like, I like 1 and 3.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I think 2
three
was
is the one
peak.
with Halle Berry. Halle Berry, or is that the
Yeah,
second
the
one?
dogs.
No.
Dogs.
The third one is the
Third
one with
is-
Halle Berry.
Yeah, that was a
I like,
dope
I
movie.
like all the
I think
first,
2's the best.
the first 3.
Yeah?
Are good.
Mhm.
You would because you like this.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
Enough.
The fourth one sucks ass.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
We got so much heat for that.
Oh,
I
they
did not like the second one, and I didn't want to see the third one because I hated the second one. But then I saw the third one, and I was like, oh, so every other one's good. All right. All right.
Yeah. 3 out of 4 is not bad.
So then I went into 4 being like, this one's going to suck. And it did.
Did I review? I did. I gave it a bogus review. John Wick 4 is bogus in my
Yeah.
rating at Criticless.
I didn't like it either. My buddy Matt, he had a perfect synopsis for what he thinks the new one needs. Well, no, that's such a big spoiler for 4. I don't want to totally spoil John Wick 4, but
It's been
for
out for a
where
while.
this franchise could go is John Wick coming back.
It's just a bigger staircase.
Right.
Yeah.
It's an escalator.
He just
I
keeps
would
falling
like
down
an
that
actual
thing.
sequel to the third one where we like takes care of the stuff they set up in that movie.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's that John Wick goes to hell and has to like fight
Yeah.
Satan.
That'd be
That was-
Constantine, wouldn't it?
Right, exactly.
So-
that's right.
Keanu Reeves has said that one of the movies that he wants to make a sequel
Yeah.
for is Constantine.
Yeah.
Supposedly he's signed up to do one with DC.
Is he?
That's what I had heard, but I don't know if
But-
James Gunn
but we're getting-
stuff messed with
We're
that.
getting a
John Wick
Matrix movie that nobody wants.
I doubt
He's not going to be in it though, is he? Isn't it going to be like a reboot?
I don't know.
Because
Um,
WB
It's not a
announced it.
reboot, it's a sequel to Revelations or whatever.
Oh God,
Resurrections.
that was fucking
Resurrection.
Yeah.
terrible.
So bad.
It was so bad.
I actually heard a really interesting theory in a YouTube Scotch burps. It was a YouTube essay, not review, but it was just like a discussion about that fourth movie, which is obviously terrible. And they were like, look, it's terrible, but it's terrible on purpose. And there's so much meta commentary about the studios mucking up the
Right.
creators' art and all this stuff. And they're like, look, if you watch this movie by the lens of like the Wachowskis just being like, we didn't want to do this, but they contractually forced us to do this. So we purposely
Made it bad.
bombed the movie so they would leave us alone. Apparently it didn't work, but
Yeah.
like when you view it through that lens and you hear all these meta jokes about like studio interference and just
Right.
ridiculous CEOs asking stupid things and like controlling the narrative as opposed to like the true art form of filmmaking,
Right.
like it's all in there. And you watch it through that lens, you're like, I think they might have a point. Like
Right.
I think they purposely freaking bombed that
I
movie.
don't believe that for one second.
No?
The Wachowskis are so desperate for a hit because they haven't made a movie that's made money since Matrix 3.
What are you talking about? The
Jupiter Ascending.
Jupiter Ascending, wasn't it like a work of art?
Oh, it was terrible. I like
How
dogs.
dare you?
Love them.
How dare you?
But you do not
like
like Jupiter Ascending. Shut the hell up.
I'll watch it right now.
No, you will not.
You like
I'll watch it
the
right
rocket
now.
rollerblade boots?
I mean, it is rife for a commentary.
I mean, it is that.
It
It
is.
is that.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
come on, man. Space skates,
Yeah.
dragon dudes. You know, they're going into Jupiter.
On our
It's-
Saturday show, Vader made a case to make Jupiter ascending or Jupiter descending because, the entire universe
Ascending
is
is
right
the
there.
porn.
Yeah.
And Jupiter ascending.
Jupiter Ascending.
Mila Kunis, she's still cute.
Of course, but that's not the point.
I mean,
It's an action reimagining with
She
Channing
doesn't
Tatum.
want to be in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
she should. She should be in it because it's a
Starring
good movie.
Zendaya.
Oh God.
God.
Good Lord, make it stop.
I don't want.
Has she become oversaturated in
Oh,
Hollywood?
100%.
Yes. And
Yeah.
nobody wanted her to begin with, I don't think. Like, it's just, I mean, in
I don't
Dune, even, she was just, it's the same character.
Yeah,
over and
yeah. I
over.
mean, she was people were kind of like lukewarm on her in the Spider-Man movies.
right.
They're like Mary Jane.
No,
I mean,
it's
I
not.
guess
No, it's MJ.
Yeah, it's MJ. It's not Mary Jane. It's MJ. No, I don't. I think they're pushing her a little bit too much, and she's. I mean, she got real famous off of that TV show on HBO. What was it called? Utopia or something like that?
No,
Or
Euphoria.
Euphoria.
Yeah.
With Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what blew kind of both of them up. Which
Yeah.
I will say, do not watch that show high. I watched the first episode, and I was like, "What the fuck is happening? Never show this to me
Oh, no.
again." It was nightmare fuel.
We got a new member real quick.
Nice.
Regis Red.
Yeah.
Regis Red became a member. Thank you so
Welcome.
much. Thanks for joining the club, man. Appreciate it. Enjoy the extra content. Go check out our library. We have a huge backlog for our members that you can check out.
Yeah, we need more Channing Tatum movies.
Yeah.
He's doing more like action comedies nowadays. Isn't he in a new rom-com coming up soon? I saw a trailer for it.
Really?
I can't remember what the name of the
No.
movie was.
Looking forward to your review of Magic Mike. So
I've seen all of them.
have
You've seen the Magic Mike movies?
I've seen none of them.
I've even seen the live show.
Yeah.
Why are you gay?
Why are you
Jude
gay?
Made me watch them. with her.
Do we still have that clip?
It wasn't that hard to get him to watch it. I was like, "You want to watch this with me?" And he goes, "Sure."
Yeah.
Those are naked in it.
Yeah, right.
The gas station scene was pretty funny, though. I will say that with Joe
Manganiello.
Manganiello, and he's in the gas station trying to turn on the clerk, and she just doesn't know what's happening. He's like throwing water all over the place.
I wouldn't know because I'm not gay.
Right.
I haven't watched that movie.
Why aren't you gay?
Why are you gay?
I will say he was good in Lost City that they
Mr.
recently did.
Lost
I
City.
don't know
Oh
if you
yeah,
saw
Channing
that.
Tatum. Yeah,
Yeah.
in Lost City,
Yeah.
that was great. That
Yeah,
was a fun movie.
It was way better than it had any right to be.
Oh,
Yeah.
the one with Sandra
The
Bullock.
like rom-com,
Yes.
like
Yes.
it was, and with the inspired casting for the villain, which was Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah,
as,
Yeah.
like, a
Radcliffe as like
evil
this
villain.
angry little rich
Dude,
guy.
Brad Pitt in that movie.
Brad
Oh my
Pitt was
God.
Brad Pitt was
amazing.
great. Yeah,
Why was that movie so good? Like, I just
it was a good mix.
what? It's got a bogus and Criticless. It only has 2 reviews, guys. We gotta help
Which-
that
which
out.
one?
Do something
Lost
about
City.
that.
Lost City.
Yeah,
I thought it was a great movie. I thought
Yeah.
it was stupid and goofy
You're
and
right.
it had a good comedy to it.
After we watched Argyle, we were like, hey, like that was really close to
Yeah.
like the plot of
Lost City.
Yeah.
that's kind
Yeah.
of
Romancing the Stone.
Yeah.
Well, there's
Yeah.
another one. I think it's an Adam Sandler movie where he's a writer and he becomes like a super spy because of it. This happens often in Hollywood. They just kind of like recycle the same script. Yeah, why is it bogus? That's so crazy.
I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, you haven't? It's fun.
Yeah, I had to remember what it was, a streaming movie.
Yes.
That's-
it was
that's
on
why-
Amazon for a while.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
wasn't,
Sandra Bullock.
It's a fun movie.
it wasn't a streaming movie. We saw
No.
it in the theater.
Did you?
It was just short lived.
We did see it in
Oh,
the
I-
theater. Yeah.
Interesting.
Which he was supposedly just in Spaceman, which was that Adam Sandler movie. And
Yeah, how was
Okay.
that?
we've
I've
been
heard
getting a
so
lot
many
of people
things.
hyping it in the app, saying
Yeah.
that like it's actually really good, and the critics are being too
It
hard on
looks
it.
creepy as shit.
It does. The giant spider talking
Yeah,
to him.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Because I will admit that I sat through, thumbing through the
Right.
streamers, and every time it comes up a lot
Right.
and I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready for that one.
Yeah,
And
it's a
I
weird
move
thing.
on.
Like I
It's
look at Adam
uh,
Sandler and I'm like, it could be a brilliant movie or it could be
'Cause
dog
it-
shit.
I
The
forget
trailer's
who it
really
was,
weird.
but somebody told me it's really depressing.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's,
He makes depressing movies sometimes.
he's
Spanglish?
been in
Yeah.
his like serious years, especially
Yeah.
and doing more serious films, and which a lot of our people are like, there's a whole lot of stuff to like dig into and marinate on
A
later.
lot of his comedies are very depressing.
Yeah. You don't like Adam Sandler?
I didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
I just think that a lot of his post Happy Gilmore stuff has been pretty awful.
Speaking of Happy Gilmore,
Conditioner is better.
is that
I make
Happy
the
Gilmore?
hair silky and smooth.
Shut up, Zohan.
Right.
Happy Gilmore 2.
Yeah.
I've heard rumors that it's in the making.
I've heard that too.
I've seen the actor who plays Shooter McGavin like post about it on Instagram or something. I follow him over there.
Netflix movie then if it is, because everything he comes.
Oh, he's connected with Netflix. Real, yeah. They could make a Happy Gilmore 2 really.
Is it going to be at the senior tour?
Yeah.
I mean,
they're all old,
that would be
man.
great.
All
They
of our
are
favorite actors are getting old.
and so are we, unfortunately. So
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a young 36, sir. I don't know what you mean. I'd be down for a Happy Gilmore 2.
I would watch that.
Yeah,
sure.
If they have to keep it in the same.
Pieces of shit for breakfast.
No.
I wonder who they get for him to fight like Bob Barker.
Right.
Oh, man.
What if they got
Oh,
Drew Carey? That was exactly what I was
Drew
about to
Carey
say.
would be
Have
great.
Drew Carey.
Yeah, Drew Carey would be a good one. And
Price is Right, bitch.
I don't know. Would you guys want them to bring back in like some weird CGI craziness,
Weathers.
Carl Weathers?
Well, I mean, he already died in the first one.
Right. That's
Yeah, he was a ghost.
But his grandma still has to be alive.
Is that actress still alive? I don't know.
And I think it's interesting.
Ben
too,
Stiller.
because
Ben
he was
Stiller could
so big when we were kids, and now he just does these Netflix movies that pop up every once in a while. And I wonder what the younger generation thinks about him, because he was the end all be all for the 90s.
Yeah.
Well,
And-
he was like the college crowd
Right.
guy.
Like, so what is he now to these people, like these younger folks?
Adam Sandler?
Yeah.
He's the dad joke guy. I think.
Right. I guess he's
Yeah, from like
probably.
Grown Ups and stuff like that. I
Right,
feel like
right.
he's evolved into the dad joke of a
Yes.
what is it, Gen Z or something?
His most popular thing recently was the Hotel Transylvania series.
Right.
Yeah.
He's the vampire.
Yeah. He was. I watched a movie randomly, I think, with the kids the other day. We were just looking for a family friendly film, and as long as it's not Disney, it's usually pretty good. It was called Leo. I think it's a turtle and a lizard.
Yeah.
And I was watching it. I never looked at the cast. I didn't know what it was. I knew it was from DreamWorks or something like that. So I'm like, oh, it's probably safe. It's the same people who do like the Minions and stuff. And I clicked play, and I'm like, is that Adam Sandler? And sure enough, it was Adam Sandler, and it was Bill Burr as the turtle. He's just like this grumpy old Irish turtle.
How is that? Is that a good movie?
It was all right. It's not the best kids movie. It's a little slow and drawn out, but it had decent messages, and it wasn't like inundated with a bunch of woke crap. So it was nowadays it's a pretty good kids movie. You know
My
what I mean?
kids loved it. They've watched it a bunch. I haven't seen it, but they think it's hilarious. They kept calling me in there and they're like, "You got to see the scene." I'm like, "Okay, I can't wait until I can show you all actual Adam Sandler."
Yeah.
Like, you're not ready.
Yeah, I thought it was decent.
The Water Boy.
Right. Oh god. So many of his comedies now would.
Yeah,
not fly.
what's a good age? Because like for me, Adam Sandler, I grew up with him. Like Happy Gilmore, I was like 10 or 11 when I saw that movie, right? Like what's a good age to introducing your kids to like Water Boy?
Did it warp you when you were
13.
Probably a little bit.
I mean, just obviously Deuce Bigelow, Mel Gigolo will show them that.
Yes. Oh man, I remember Rob Schneider, right?
That's on Adam Sandler.
Right.
He produced it, didn't he?
He's part of the team. With
Yeah,
that,
it's the
he's
Adam.
not actually in it though, is he? I don't think.
I say 10. He's almost there.
10. Okay.
Billy Madison.
Yeah. Oh, I hate that movie.
All the cool
though.
kids are peeing.
No, I can't.
Pee pants.
What's the other one where he's a dad to that kid? He's just the worst dad ever. Was it Big Daddy? I think. it
Oh
was
yeah,
called.
yeah. Big
That's
Daddy. And that is not appropriate at all. By the way, do not make that mistake.
Dude, I watched that movie when I was a kid.
Oh, I know. So we all did. And then you go back and watch them all, and you're like, oh, our parents fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, they fucked up.
Little Nicky.
Yeah,
Little Nicky was a fucked up movie too. Yeah. Didn't he kill Hitler in that movie?
No, they would shove
kept-
pineapples.
He was
up-
shoving
up
a
his
pineapple
No,
up
that's
his ass.
right. That's right. He was in hell and they were shoving pineapples up his ass. Wow. What a
While he was
Waterboy.
wearing a French maid.
that movie is so fucked up.
I kind of want to rewatch it. I haven't seen it forever.
It's
Yeah.
been a minute.
And he's got that like emo side.
Yeah, oh, yeah, it's real
just
emo.
sitting
Harvey
around.
Keitel plays Satan.
Yeah. God.
Took a shovel to the face. We got a $5 super chat from Mr. Anderson. Welcome back. Hello to you. Thank you so much for the $5. That was very generous just to say hello. Thank you so much,
Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson. There was somebody else when we were talking about Adam Sandler. There was another actor that I was like, he was a part of my childhood. God, I'm sorry, the scotch is getting to me already.
Right.
But it's a great question nowadays. Is like, what movies can you like
For your kids.
feed to your kids, and
Right.
at what age? Like
Right.
growing up, we watched a bunch of stuff that I feel like
yeah.
they were like, yeah, just watch it, whatever, it's fine.
I can't answer that question because every movie I watched when I was a kid,
Right.
I grew up in the 80s, dude.
Yeah.
They were all no 10-year-old should be watching fucking Rambo.
And the
Okay.
rating scale is different. Do you realize that Airplane is rated PG?
Oh, yeah.
There
Yeah.
are tits in that movie, and it is rated PG. Like, don't show that to your kids. Don't
Those are
look
some
at
good.
yeah.
Good rating system
Right.
back in
Those
the
were the
day.
good years, man.
I love that.
Yeah.
I feel so lucky that I got to grow up in the
Right.
80s because there was none of this bullshit.
Y'all weren't soft.
No, we're not soft.
No,
Not at all.
like my
And we were
my
on the
parents
tail
are
end.
probably close to the same age as your parents. Like I grew up in like a Gen X household, basically.
Yeah.
I'm technically a millennial, but my parents were like in their 40s when they had me. So
People take their kids to the ER now for stuff my mom would tell me to rub dirt.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
totally. That's
It's just.
and I try to stick with that too with my kids. I'm pretty like
same.
I'm
Tough
pretty
enough.
rufless.
We're doing that 90s raising for
Yeah,
our kids.
Are
yeah.
you crying right now?
You'll be
Are
fine.
you crying right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, William Forbes said Big Daddy is so good. That was my first Adam Sandler movie. I think my first Adam Sandler movie was Happy Gilmore. Big Daddy's a good one too.
Billy Madison all the way.
Mr.
Yeah,
Deeds
Billy
was good. Nerdy Neo says Mr. Deeds. I forgot about that movie.
Yeah.
I'd have to go back and rewatch it.
I know. I'm
Love
scrolling
50
through.
First Dates.
51st Days is great. Oh, whenever Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore hook up in it.
Wedding Singer.
Oh my God, forget about it. That's a phenomenal movie. That's a movie you could watch
You
with your kids.
don't
They won't get any of the
know
references
How much you mean?
to me.
You know, the movies he makes on vacation with all his buddies are pretty good too.
The grown-up movies?
Grown-up movies. Are pretty
Yeah.
fun.
I really like Murder Mystery. Not
I did, yeah,
just
the first one-
not the second.
I didn't
Yeah,
watch
first
it.
one was good.
I didn't see it.
First one was good. Second one's not so good.
Okay.
First one was really good though. Nerdy Neo says Chris Farley movies is a great
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
introduction for your kids to watch
Yeah, that'd be
comedies and
good.
It
stuff.
is.
Just
And that's one of the things with the
Farley.
app in the family friendly rating. I've
Mhm.
just started putting ages. I'll literally just put
Nice.
like 8 and
Yeah.
up,
oh,
whatever.
that's great.
And
Yeah.
so it's like you can just go and look at anything, and
Yeah.
it's like
Just
But you see,
just
I have,
distract him at that one point in Tommy Boy where he's housekeeping suck your dick.
I think
Just
that's
be like, oh, popcorn's ready, popcorn.
You want a snack?
go ahead, Megan.
when
You
I
can
when I
talk.
do criticless reviews.
Yeah.
The age appropriate slider
Right,
is the hardest one for me.
it's
Mm.
hard.
It really is hard because, like I just said, I grew up in the 80s, man.
Right.
I didn't care.
Yeah.
Right.
what-
It's like I watched the most inappropriate movies for my age.
At what age were you able to watch
Yeah.
Rambo First Blood?
Right, right.
Yeah. The app
When
is not asking you about your
Hey,
child.
we had a
No.
Rambo cartoon growing up.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
I mean,
there
I
were
mean,
a lot of weird cartoons like that. Like even Toxic Avenger had a cartoon, and it's
Mm.
hard R. I watched that, and then
Yeah.
was like, I got a little older, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna watch Toxic Avenger. I was like,
Oh
holy
my!
Yeah.
shit.
I mean, yeah, it's just it's a hard one for me to
Right.
judge because I don't care.
Right.
It's like let your kid you watch.
Look for yours. It's gonna say like 6 and up. Tell your kid to nut up.
RoboCop
Yeah.
is another one. RoboCop is
Right.
dark.
Oh,
and
well,
there was a
that's-
cartoon for that.
Yeah.
That's
They marketed that towards kids. Dude. They
Mhm.
were action figures.
totally.
They were like,
Oh, yeah.
"Hey, kids, go watch this R-rated movie."
But the thing about that movie, it was almost rated X.
They had
Yeah.
that action
Yeah.
figure of the guy who got melted by.
Yeah.
That's by the
Toxic-
toxic stuff.
toxic- toxic
And then he
waste
got
guy.
hit by the van,
Ah,
and you're just like a 9-year-old just
Yeah.
watching this.
Yeah.
So,
Rad.
well, it was funny because like a lot of those movies, those are the movies that you'd sneak over to a sleepover.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Watch
Yeah, for
once
sure.
the parents
Oh,
went
yeah.
to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched I think my first rated R movie that I watched over my buddy's house was The Whole Nine Yards with Bruce Willis.
Oh,
Okay.
And there's full frontal nudity in that movie.
Whoa.
We went there. It was funny. I go over there. I hope my mom doesn't watch this. I go over there. I watch like Whole 9 Yards, and then the next week we go over there. We watch The Patriot, like the real like VHS tape Patriot with like all the cannon fodder, people's limbs falling off, and the murder, and he's like hacking away with the freaking the Indian. What tribe was he fighting for in
I
that?
don't remember.
God, that movie's so fucking
I
good
know.
though.
It really is. Which
Um,
actually, speaking of RoboCop, I saw recently they released a video game, and it's set in the same time period as the movies. It looks like it's the 80s. Everybody says it's
Whoa.
fucking awesome, and it looks just like the OG RoboCop.
Yeah.
Do you know what it's called?
It's literally like RoboCop something.
It's a RoboCop
It is
video
a
game
RoboCop
that just
video-
came out.
Yes, and it's true to like it's the original RoboCop character.
Dang.
It looks like him. Like it's.
I think they
true
even
to
got
form.
some of the actors. to come
Yeah, I
back
think they
and do
got
some voice
actors to
work.
come back, and it's literally like the cars are from the 80s. Like everything is fully 80s centric, but it's an actual RoboCop video game.
Yeah, PS4. It just
Yeah.
came out.
Yeah, it looks badass. I
What?
think I'm gonna get it. I keep hearing good things about
Hit
it.
that super chat real quick.
Oh, sorry. I switched over to a other thing. $1.99 from You Fucked Up Bitch. I forced my kids to watch 80s and 90s and drink.
Oh yeah.
That's a good father.
That's a great
That's
father.
pretty much what I
yeah,
do.
man.
My kids just saw for the first time Dumb and Dumber.
Oh.
We watched it. And my daughter is like, this is the best movie ever made. She has seen it like 3 or 4 times.
That's a great
To the point in which now when we drive down the road and I let her sit in the front seat, she just goes like
yes,
this.
yes.
I've created a monster.
That's amazing.
I want you to have Andrew watch Dumb and Dumber.
Okay.
And I want you to record his reaction.
Yeah.
I want
To like, no, for real.
Do it during the boob scene. You need to record it where it doesn't show the boobs. My son was so disappointed. My son literally goes, it is. And he goes, I thought we were going to see boobs.
and the diarrhea scene too, especially.
Yeah.
I just want to see his face.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Oh
awesome.
God. It's
I
so
should
good.
do it here, man.
Right,
I should do it
live
here
watch
and
in
do
here.
a commentary with my
Yes.
son watching 80s and 90s
Yes.
movies.
That would
Hey,
be
listen,
amazing.
if I
That's
do
something
that,
serious.
if I do that, would people go on our website, go to saltyclub.com
Right.
Yeah.
and watch those movies?
Right.
They're gonna call social
That's
services.
perfect.
on you.
Like he made him watch Temple of Doom.
Right.
I watched Temple of Doom.
Right, we all did. It's a whole series about how your kids don't end up being soft.
Yeah.
We're showing 90s movies.
You want to toughen your kid up?
Yeah.
This is how you do it.
This is how you do it.
Rambo.
Rambo, Top Gun. My son watched Top Gun with us. His
Yeah.
reaction was so funny. He loved the movie, but every time the love theme song came on, it was like bow bow,
yeah.
whatever that. I can't
Uh-huh.
remember what the name of the song is, but every time that music came on, my son would go, "Oh no!" and he'd cover up his
Is
face.
this a kissing book?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
it was very much a freaking Princess Bride moment where he's like, "Oh, gross! That stupid song." It's so funny.
Follow it up with Red Dawn.
Yes,
Yeah,
Red Dawn's
exactly.
another good
The
one.
Swayze one.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you can't do the Hemsworth one. That's
No.
not. What is with freaking Hollywood making these shitty freaking
Right.
remakes of 80s movies? Dude?
They have yet to master the art of remaking a Swayze film.
Yeah,
Nope.
no, it's 0 for
Stop
0.
trying.
Well, it's just you can't. I just watched. So when I watched the new Roadhouse,
Yeah.
I had the privilege of not seeing the original,
Yeah.
Oh.
which was really interesting because I wasn't crazy about the new one to begin with. But then I went back and watched the old one. I was like, oh, they fucked up. They
Yeah.
fucked up bad.
They
And you
really
see
did.
it instantly, and you're like, oh, they can't make this movie now.
No.
Like there
Yeah.
is in PC culture, the 80s movies are not going to happen.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, they
just can't
gotta
do it.
soft them up a little bit.
Sad day.
Uh,
Sad thing.
Alex, gotta have your kids watch Hot Shot.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Hot
yeah,
Shots.
that's another.
Is that the
It's-
like the SNL dude
That's the
from?
No,
Charlie
Charlie
Sheen.
Sheen.
Lampoon.
It has
of,
the-
like
Oh yeah,
It has the
that's
chicken
I was
and
thinking
the bow
Hot
and arrow,
Rod. Sorry, I
right?
was thinking Hot Rod. That's also.
Or is that the airplane? No, I'm thinking of another movie. Because it's
Hot
kind of an
Shots.
airplane similar type of movie.
He hasn't seen Die Hard yet. I feel like we're on the cusp of
Ooh,
watching
yeah.
Die Hard.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
That's right. He's getting to that age now. 10, I think 10 is a
10's
good
a
age.
good age.
10
Yeah.
is he's almost 10.
Actually, my kid's other favorite movie, speaking of it, now this is more 90s, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, that's a
Dude,
great one.
My kids freaking they've seen Mrs. Doubtfire like 30 times.
Yeah.
I'm not
Watching
even a
it
joke.
now, though, you're like, oh, he's a bad man.
yeah, oh
Right,
yeah, no,
right.
no.
Yeah.
He's not a he's a
Sally
weirdo.
Field was right.
Yeah.
Yes. There's that meme where he's like where Sally feels like the whole time, the whole time.
I just really think you need to start watching some of these movies with your kid.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna start watching them on his own on the
Right.
down low.
Eventually,
pretty
dude, you know what?
soon.
I caught him this morning,
So-
just this morning. Just this morning, I woke up because our other son was sick and he was crying all night long. So I just like rolled out of bed like 7 o'clock and I go into his room, I open the door, and he's got our spare laptop
That a boy.
on his bed.
boy.
And I'm like,
yep.
what were you watching? He's
Yeah.
like, nothing.
It's
And I'm like,
like-
what do you mean nothing?
Uh-huh.
He's like,
Definitely wasn't Dev Patel.
yeah.
Like when your wife walked into the room and you were watching something, and he was like, "Dad's making me watch
yes,
it."
Yeah.
yes, he did do that too. He
Oh,
threw me
yeah.
under the bus hard.
Dude, my son did that. I showed him Fast and the Furious, and he keeps going like, "Remember that time when Dad showed me that movie where the girl gets her boob grabbed?" I'm like, dude,
Shut up, man.
stop it! I forgot about that scene.
Don't ruin it.
And he'll literally, we'll be watching a movie, and he'll be like, "I'm like, bro, stop, stop that shit right now."
Just trying to toughen the boy up a
Yeah.
little bit. That's all.
My
make
wife's
sure
like,
you-
"You're a monster."
I got to make sure he likes boobs. Okay.
Yeah. My response is always, "He's straight. We know he's straight." Every time, "We know he's straight."
It's time for the test.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
I was just testing him young. I
Is he
gotta
gonna be a
make
mama's boy or
sure.
a daddy's boy?
No, I'm good because he has a crush on his babysitter.
Right, yeah.
I'm like, oh, we're good. Okay.
She-
It's cool. Oh, yeah, she's real cute. Cute little lady.
Watch that.
No, it's funny because he's like, are you guys going on a date?
Is she coming over?
Is our babysitter going over tonight?
He goes takes a shower.
Yeah,
comes
right.
there, Get some cologne on.
Babysitter's like, I keep catching him just peering around the corner.
Oh, yeah, he's getting there. We got-
You gotta get a new babysitter.
yeah.
Some old lady.
No.
Yeah.
Oh man, late night with Cat for $5. Thank you, sir. My first R was Total Recall.
Right.
At 10 years in the theaters. Holy crap,
That's
dude!
brutal.
3 boobs. #, fatherhood.
That's such an
Wow.
Oh, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
That's a
but
great one,
I
though.
never
It is.
realized how R-rated it is,
Dude.
until you watch it
Yeah.
after not seeing it for a while.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
all of
my
the 80s movies
God.
are like that.
Yeah.
All the 80s
Yeah,
ones.
It takes you aback because you're just like, they don't make
there's
this
some
anymore.
movies that hit harder now that we're all soft and
We could-
acclimated
we're
to,
soft.
to these lame
Yeah.
movies they make these
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
Like RoboCop's one,
Mm-hmm.
Total Recall's one.
Right. Like Face Off.
Yeah.
Oh, Face Off.
Like,
Yeah.
they go so hard.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do.
They don't.
They don't give a fuck.
No.
It's good. That's what I like. about
Scotch is making me sweat. I had to take my jacket off. It's getting a little warm in here. I love these. Terminator 2 was my first R. That's great.
it. That's a good one.
That's a
Yeah.
really good
No,
one.
my parents were really careful about that kind of thing, and one of my first PG-13 movies in theaters was The Mummy, and
Oh, that's
Oh.
coming out
yes,
soon.
and we need to take our kids.
Yes,
like
I'm
that's-
so in
yeah.
for it, dude.
So my mom took me to see The Mummy, and she literally there's like a scene where she's in like a see-through dress kind of.
Uh huh. Yeah, I remember.
My
Oh, I
mom went
remember.
to cover my eyes, and she stuck her fingernail in my eyeball, and I was literally just like,
No. Oh no.
like in the theater.
Righteous punishment.
Yeah.
I literally looked at her, I'm like, well, I'm not going to see the whole movie now, Mom. Thank you.
Thanks.
I lost my eye.
Oh man, I would love. Yeah, it's coming because they're re-releasing it for its 26th, 25th anniversary. Is coming out back.
You don't
theaters.
release
Yeah.
something on the 26th
I
anniversary.
don't know what they're doing. Who knows? Brandon Fraser's pretty a pretty hot and heavy actor nowadays.
he's
he had a
Heavy, certainly, yeah.
Renaissance.
It's
he has having a renaissance. I'd love to see them do another one if he can get back in shape for it and bring the Mummy crew back for another one.
He got really
be so
badly
cool.
injured doing those movies. I don't.
Yeah.
Did he?
Well, I mean, they don't have to do the same like,
Right.
oh, we're gonna throw because they almost choked him to death in the first one.
Yeah.
That scene where he was hanging, and the love interest lady. God, I'm terrible at names. She had to save him, but when they were filming it, his safety rig wasn't taut enough to hold his weight, so he was actually being hung during that
shit.
scene,
That's wild.
and he passed out.
I had no idea.
And then when they lowered him down,
Crazy.
they woke him back up, and they're like, "You good, Brendan?" He's like, "Yeah, I think I'm good." He's like, "All right, we're gonna redo
this
it.
is
New
how he
scene."
got into erotic asphyxiation.
Oh no. William Forbes, my first R movie was Hellraisers. Jesus.
Oh my God.
That-
Hellraiser.
and
Hellraiser.
Hellraiser and
yeah.
Terrified for a long time.
Oh,
That's a
God.
bit much. I don't know if I'd be able to do that.
Hellraiser is a fucked up movie.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm loving all these first.
I know.
Comment your first in there, guys. This is great stuff.
Your first R-rated movie.
Yeah, your first R-rated movie. Go ahead. Go sound off in the comments. Sean Stackhouse. What's up, Sean? How you doing, buddy? I think my first R was First Blood Part 2. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's a good one.
If you want to get really crazy, what was your first? Well, never mind.
No, we're not going down that road. No.
I remember
But that's a hard transition. You remember?
Devil and Miss Jones.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, literally, I said the other day, I'm like, the first request for Criticless that Vader
Yes.
asked was, when are we adding porn?
Don't do it, Blaine.
Yeah, no.
Don't do it. Lord Thoth says my first R was Way of the Dragon. Okay. That's Bruce Lee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one.
That was
that's a
R.
good. Yeah, who knows why?
What was yours, Alex?
Oh God, first ever. I'm trying to think. I don't think it was Whole 9 Yards. That was close.
Mhm.
It was right around the same time, but it might have been. It was either that or The Patriot, I think. And I was
Okay.
like 11 or something like that.
Okay.
I think and I snuck over to my friend's house. We watched that movie. Like I said, we watched it.
Yours was Roadhouse, right, babe? Yeah.
Oh man, that's a
Wow.
hell of a first one.
Yeah.
My dad let me watch the strip scene.
Oh
It was
wow.
the first time I'd seen boobs on TV.
Yeah.
Your dad's amazing.
Change your life.
Yeah. That was the awakening. That's when it happened.
Yeah.
Karate
Now,
and
first
boobs.
theater R is different. That's a different experience.
Yeah.
When you're hiding it and you're watching it in your home on like an old TV, a VHS,
Right.
or your dad's or something like that. That's a different experience than like going and seeing your first R movie in the theater.
I remember how mad my mom was when I was 12.
Right.
Oh wait, was that 12? I don't remember. When did Temple of Doom come out?
80
something.
83.
86 maybe.
I know.
Yeah,
I remember
80
how I was like, I'm like,
because the first one was 82.
I'm like
right?
15 or 16, and my mom was still mad
Really?
at how
Oh
harsh,
well, yeah, but we had similar raising.
and how hard that movie went with the ripping the
the heart out.
Was that R though, or was it?
No,
know,
it was at the
PG-13.
time.
I
It
think
was
it
the
was the
first
way-
ever PG-13
Yeah,
movie.
Yeah,
why
they created the PG-13.
That yeah.
for that.
Okay.
But
So-
I can remember, I think my first R in the theater experience. So like I had to have my dad take me to go see Pulp Fiction,
Nice.
Oh wow.
and the scene where the GIMP scene.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My dad turned to me and he said, "Matthew," and I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Never take me to a movie again."
That's awesome. All right, let's
I
see.
wa-
Where I
I
live
watched
off.
so many R-rated movies. I couldn't tell you what my
Right.
first
I
theater
don't
one was.
know what my first one was. I had a neighbor that he was a single dad. So it was the whole single dad thing. So it was like I had all the movies, all the things. So it was basically like if I wanted to see some shit I wasn't supposed to, I just went next door.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting Terminator in the comments.
Yeah.
A couple other ones like that. That's great. Medicine Man was Def Rowe's first R-rated movie.
13 Ghosts. That's a nightmare.
Yeah.
fact. I
Oh,
remember
that's a
first one,
crazy
too.
I want to bring
Love
this
that movie.
comment up though because I thought it was really interesting. Where'd it go?
My first rated R
oh.
movie, I think, was Poltergeist.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not into that demo stuff.
Right.
That's crazy. Did you watch it on your own? Or did somebody show it to you?
I probably watched it with my parents. Like
Wow.
my parents have said that like as a 3-year-old, they would have me on their lap while watching Jaws and I
Yeah.
would root for the shark.
That
Yeah.
explains a lot.
Get him, Jaws.
She was in Pack Ribbon. She was rooting for the
Yeah.
monster.
Yeah,
from
yeah, she has a
beginning,
thing for monsters beating people up.
I
Yeah.
see both sides.
Adam Price says, "What age to let your kids see Dazed and Confused?" I feel like
That's
they got to be
teenager,
older.
probably.
Yeah, you got to be because you have to understand the whole
You gotta
point
be
of
in
it.
high school.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would say
you
high
have to be through high school.
It's
or
not going to
something.
resonate the
High
same.
school,
Like
you don't think junior high kids don't know about all that stuff?
Honestly, kids nowadays, they wouldn't have the attention span for that movie.
Right.
It's a little
Yeah.
slow.
Because they're not
Yeah,
able to do this.
yeah.
right.
I don't know. My kids don't have phones. I'm not getting my kids phones until they're older, just because I don't want to deal with that nonsense. Like, there's a real addiction thing happening.
Oh,
with
yeah.
that
Oh,
stuff, and
Yeah.
I'm like, they're already addicted to their tablets and stuff like that. And a fan of the show got us that old school Nintendo emulator thing,
Mhm.
and my kids are addicted to Mario.
Oh no.
Addicted to Mario.
You
I'm
can let
like,
me borrow what I play for a while.
I'm like, I'm good with that. You can be addicted to Mario. That's okay with me. I was the same way.
Yeah.
I remember I did a Nerdy Neo. I remember seeing Titanic in theaters with my parents, and it was the most awkward thing during that drawing
Oh, my
scene.
God.
I also saw Titanic in theaters with my parents. It was indeed awkward, Nerdy Neo. I remember my dad looking over at me, and I'm like, not looking back at you, Dad. Not
Nope.
making eye contact with my father right now.
Draw me like one of your friends.
Amazing. Alien, I was 6. Alien's a good
Oh,
one. I
that's-
wonder. I
They,
can't
will
remember
mess
wouldn't
you
have
up when you're
patience for that
6.
one either, though. It's slow to start.
to start, but it's terrifying.
Oh, it is terrifying.
So terrifying. I'd love to have my kids watch some scary movies, but they'll probably have nightmares and it'll ruin it. Yeah, let's see what else we got. I love these things. Terminator 1. Okay. Mr. Anderson says Terminator. I love it. This is a good one. John Parks, my first radar movie was Evil Dead.
Oh, that's
Wow.
Evil Dead. And look at his profile pic is dope though.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, RoboCop and is that like, that's the
It
guy-
looks like Lance Henriksen.
yeah, it's Lance
Bishop.
Henriksen.
I've got a good
And
starter
Terminator.
horror for you, by the way, for your kid when they hit the point. We showed my daughter. It's more recent, but oh god, I had the name of the movie in my head. Scary Stories.
Is it Conjuring movie?
It's the recent one that came out, and it's based off a book series.
Exorcist?
No. It's called like Scary Stories something, and it's
Hmm.
based off a really famous book series. Now I
Do you guys
started-
remember Goosebumps?
Oh hell
Yeah.
yeah! I read like
Yeah.
so many.
Those are straight up like demonistic books that they just served up kids.
They're
Right.
for children.
They're like,
Yeah.
here, kids, read
Yeah.
about demons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's fine. Here you go. Vader, I'm going to let you read this one.
From Lord Thoth.
It squeaks.
Lord Thoth. My first Triple X movie was Deep Throat.
Nice.
Oh
That's
my
good.
wow!
That's
I
good.
don't want to.
Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Oh, okay.
My
okay.
daughter saw that, and that was like her first like scary horror movie, but it's PG-13, but it's like just on that cusp of
Yeah.
like not too much, and she loved it. And now she talks about it. all
Of
the
course,
time.
my
She's
wife
like a
is
horror
watching
fan.
during this moment. She said, "How do you remember your first R movies?" Because it's a pivotal moment in your childhood. You remember Scream. Your grandfather took you to go see Scream. You talk about it all the time, babe.
Yeah.
That's when you remember. You remember going like, "I don't think I was supposed to see that movie."
Yeah.
Trading Places is another one. That might be. Oh, Dennis Wright. I think you and I might be on the same page because I remember seeing Trading Spaces. I had to have played it. Sorry, yeah, Trading Places. And I remember that happening, but I don't remember how I saw it, the unedited version, because everything was on TV back in the day when I was watching. It was like, oh, TBS is showing this movie tonight, but they would always cut it up.
Oh, TBS versions?
Yeah. They were they cut all the good stuff out of the movies. But I do remember seeing Trading Places. It's one of my favorite Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy movies. It's a fantastic movie. That's a good one.
My first theater rated R movie was Major League.
Okay. All right. I don't think I've ever actually seen it.
That's a really good movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's really funny.
I'm not into baseball.
Fuck you, Joe.
Wild Thing.
I know the references, but I don't think I've actually watched it. Let's see. Adam Price. First R was an 80s movie called Ruthless People with Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
You guys remember that?
Yeah.
I've never heard of it before.
Yeah.
Isn't Bette Midler in that too?
I don't know. Anthony Mark says 1977 Night Fever. Yeah. Saturday Night Fever. Yeah. Anthony Mark, showing your age, buddy. Anthony's a huge fan of the podcast. He retweets and follows us everywhere. Thank you, Anthony, for being here. It's really good. My sister took me to see The Fly. Ooh.
Oh,
I love The Fly.
That is a gross movie.
That's a Cronenberg one, right?
Yeah, that is a.
We reviewed that, and I think I was like out. I'm like,
The Thing. That's another great one.
Yeah.
What age do you see The Thing at? That's a pretty.
I don't know, 10.
You think 10?
16.
Yeah.
16? You're 6 years apart on that?
Yeah.
I would say like 13, maybe.
Yeah, but we're different generations.
Right.
Are you?
Don't be a bitch. Come on. 10's fine.
10. Vader's like R is just 10 across the board. It's 10. You're fine after
How
that.
old are your granddaughters?
They're ready to. They're like 9 and
Come over Grandpa's house and watch The Thing.
they're at that age. We're gonna have some.
Oh man, 13 Ghosts
right.
just turned 17.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kids want to watch something that's like under 5 minutes.
Dude,
But
this guy.
my grandkids come over and they got all that stupid Nickelodeon
Yeah,
Disney Channel shit.
that should be rated R for
Yeah.
how
And
messed up all that stuff
I
is.
was like, what are you watching? It's the worst.
Yeah.
And then my granddaughter looks at me like I'm a moron.
That's the reason why I don't let my kids watch SpongeBob, because I just don't want to hear
God.
SpongeBob in the
No.
background of my
Yeah.
house. I'm like, please no.
Here,
I
watch-
can't handle
I'm
it.
like, here, watch Pinky in the Brain.
Outright. Pinky the Brain's great. My kids are. I did it right. I did it right. My oldest is addicted to Grand Tour. Jeremy Clarkson,
so good.
Oh,
Richard Hammond, and James May are his heroes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Me and him can sit down and watch a whole season of Grand Tour and just eat, have snacks, and hang out.
Though, didn't they?
No, there's a new
Or
season.
is it still going?
They just have the Sand Job just came out.
Okay.
It's
I need to watch it then because my kids loved it when it first started coming out, and we haven't watched it in a long
When you get to Regis's super chat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then let's wrap up by talking about Fallout on Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Sounds good.
yeah, it looks good.
Thank you for producing. $5 from Regis Red. Dawn of the Dead, 1978,
Great
first R movie.
I love that movie.
I remember seeing that. I don't remember how old I was, but I remember it.
I even like the remake.
That scene where they open the door and they look down and the thing is looking up at him and goes, brains. Like that is burned into my brain. That's a great one.
Dawn of the Dead is the mall one.
Yeah, that's the Zack Snyder one, right?
Well, no, that's this that he remade that movie that he's talking about.
Alien,
And they're
another
both
good one.
They're both good movies.
Yeah, these are great, guys. Thank you so much. That wasn't R, I don't think. Yeah, Scream was R, right?
Yeah.
Jude?
Yeah.
Scream, the first Scream?
I
yeah.
love
Hey, I
Scream.
want
Yeah.
to put in the comments later that what your favorite. Or
Yeah,
what
for
your,
sure.
What your first star is.
Yeah, if you're watching this on the replay, you're not catching it
Yeah.
live, comment below.
Very curious.
I'm interested to hear. This sounds like this is a fun subject. All right. Before we wrap it up, we got about 10 minutes left. We're going to talk about Fallout coming out on Amazon Prime.
Like they moved it up, right?
I did, yeah.
I was
saying
dropped
that.
the news to us.
Yeah. They announced yesterday they released like a big thing with like some of the people in the movie, and they're like, "Oh, by the way, we're just going to push it up." Like, I don't know when the original release was
It was
supposed
the 11th. It's only
Okay,
a couple days.
so it's going to be
Okay.
Friday, and that it
Yeah.
sounds like they're dropping the whole series on Friday. Is that right?
Yeah, no, they were going to do that anyway.
So yeah,
So it's a binge.
It's a big.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to binge it?
That's why we're doing 4 and 4.
4 and 4.
We're doing
Okay.
4
right.
first week, 4 the second week.
Okay.
I hate it when we do that. I just want to talk about the whole thing,
No.
spoilers, and
I I personally prefer the episode by episode things that we do.
I can't watch 8 movies. I don't have time to watch.
No, I know. I understand. There's pros and cons to it. I know Kadish is a binger. He loves binging.
I'm not a
stuff.
binge person. I actually prefer. I like the whole like water cooler experience.
Yes,
week by week, like talking about it, like Game of Thrones.
Twinsies.
I know, dude, same person, man. That's how it is.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I want to be able to stretch it out and have something to talk about. Otherwise, I just fucking forget about it. I'm just like, oh, I don't even remember watching that. I watched it in like 2 days.
That's my biggest problem with a show like Stranger Things.
Right.
Like, I love that show. I think it's great. All the season. I mean, there's some that are better than others, but all the seasons so far have been a lot of fun. But they come out all at once. Right. You watch it in a week, and then by week 3, nobody's talking about it.
And that's why it's a bad model.
Yeah.
It is. I think it's really.
And then you have to wait like 3 years for it to come back out.
Right.
And I'm like, ugh.
And then you're like, wait, are these kids 30 now?
Yeah. Millie Bobby Brown cost $200 million to get one episode done.
Right. Seriously.
Yeah. She's gonna price herself out of movies. I think like that's one of the reasons why she's not in the Godzilla movies anymore. Because they were like, we're not paying you $150 million.
Yeah, your character
we don't
even that
need
good.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think about this Fallout show? Like, do y'all have high hopes, or y'all?
I like the trailers I've seen.
Okay.
It looks like they're staying as faithful as they can to the aesthetic and the look and the feel of the original games.
Yeah. I'll watch Walton Goggins in anything.
Yeah,
he's amazing.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
Do you watch his show that he has on HBO Max about
Righteous Gems?
Yes, Righteous Gemstones.
I have watched the first, I think, 2 seasons.
Okay. It's still very good. I love it. It's hilarious. It's so much fun. And actually, Vader, if you don't watch it, after the conversation we had today, you need to watch Righteous Gemstones. You will die.
I've seen a few episodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I guess it depends on if you like.
Yeah, they're spot on.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I know. Right. With
Jimmy
all the
Swagger
religious
bullshit.
Yeah.
Fuck those guys.
Oh, I know.
I don't know if I can watch it.
It's almost hard. It's too close to home.
It's too much. Yeah.
But yeah, I played the Fallout games, and I think it looks pretty close. I mean,
good.
and this is Christopher Nolan's brother.
Yeah,
correct?
the same guy who did
Westworld.
Westworld. Yeah, Jonathan Nolan.
And
I really liked the first like two
seasons.
Of
First
Westworld.
I actually loved the 3rd season when they went into the real world. Now, not the 4th, but the 3rd.
The one with
the big computer, right? That was the 3rd season, right?
It was the one when they're not in Westworld fully,
Yeah.
and it's with what's his face from Breaking Bad. When he,
Jesse Pinkman.
Yeah. When he comes in,
yes,
I didn't
that's
like
the 3rd
that
season.
I see. I for whatever reason loved that season, but the final one was not good.
I'm a casual fan of Fallout. It's not my genre of games. Like I've played them because I love like Skyrim and stuff like that. It's all the same developers. So I was really interested. I tried getting into it. The post-apocalyptic thing didn't make my itch. Like I prefer like the medieval dragon stuff. Like that's more. I play Skyrim all the time. I couldn't get into the games. I am optimistic about the show. I have so little faith nowadays with TV
Amazon
shows.
producing it as well. Like
Amazon,
Amazon's
such a hit or miss though.
Well, so I figured it out. What I think it is Amazon Studios fucks up fantasy and they kill it on their military adjacent things.
Yeah, Terminal List is great.
The sci-fi stuff they tend to screw up too.
Is Expanse an Amazon show?
Expanse was, but they picked it up later. That was Sci-Fi Channel first. Okay. So, but all of their military stuff, like Chris Pratt's show and all of them, Jack Ryan, like all those are really solid. But anytime they mess with fantasy, or because I'm a huge Wheel of Time fan, I literally read like all 14 books. Super bummer with that show.
Ooh, this is I'm going to bring up Beard of Liberty's comment about this because this is a nice comment to talk about. Beard of Liberty says releasing all the episodes at once makes me think they have no confidence that viewers will return. Boost those week 1 viewing numbers. That's interesting. What do you guys think about that?
I think that people say that nowadays, and no disrespect to Beard, but it's kind of a cop out bullshit.
You think so?
Yeah, it's like it says. I don't think these streamers.
I think Amazon's model also is always day one.
I think so. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with Nerdy Neo. He says Amazon shows depends on who's in charge. Yeah, when you get Chris Pratt's stuff, the Jack Ryan stuff, they're all really good, and there's no like crazy messaging. But then you get other shows that are just like, what the fuck were they thinking?
Right.
It's all about the creator. So I feel like, is it possible that Amazon just kind of has like a hands-off position on these things, and they just kind of let them do whatever they're going to do?
I don't know. I guess it depends.
Yeah.
I mean
Jack Ryan is John Krasinski.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Well, and Film Threat recently came out and said that they are implementing they did some kind of expose, and basically internally within Amazon Studios, they are implementing a lot of super hyper woke stuff.
Are they doing that like 30%? Every character has to be this or that, whatever.
They want rewards. They have to, I think.
Right. Well, there was even some stuff written in there about like how to handle women characters and like not having men save them.
It's
Like really hyper specific, crazy stuff.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. I mean, I think the main character of Fallout is a woman. I don't care.
Well, you can be either. Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I just want a fun story, and I want some good characters.
Right.
And I 100% believe there's going to be some woke shit in it.
Probably.
And I just, it is what it is, man. And I'm going to power through it. And I just hope it's good.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing about our, like, when we review shows,
we don't know
like that. We give everything a chance at least once, and then we say what we say. If we like it, we'll tell you we like it. It doesn't matter what everybody else says.
And if it's really bad, it might be some of our best work.
Right.
I try not to hope anymore because I went into Dune being like, ooh, I'm so excited.
You hated that movie.
I walked out like, fuck this movie.
I'll say that I really like Jonathan Nolan and what's his partner?
Lisa Joy.
Lisa Joy.
Yeah.
I did like Westworld, but their other big show was Person of Interest, which was fantastic. Yeah. So I'm going into this hoping for the best, but Amazon has a great way of ruining good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, Lord Thoth says I give shows 4 episodes. Well, that's good because on Tuesday we're going to review the first 4 episodes. We'll talk about it. We'll probably.
Is that what we're doing next week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Next week, first 4, and I think Civil War or something.
Civil War's coming out this weekend, so yeah, we'll do Civil War and we'll do Fallout.
Oh, did you watch that review?
I did. Yeah, Savvy had some interesting opinions on it, so I'm very curious.
I'm very curious too.
Savvy dropped 100 last night for it. Yes, so in Criticless, and I guess you got to see it early.
You can give her a proper shout out if you want.
Right. Yeah. Follow This Is Savvy. She's on Criticless and on all the social TikTok, and that's her main place.
Well, guys, I don't know if you realize this or not, but next Friday/Thursday night is the sequel to Rebel Moon dropping.
No.
Hell yeah, I'm ready.
Already?
Nobody gives a shit.
I actually,
I thought we were going to get away with like a 2-year break before that.
No, hell no. No, we're getting the rated R version at the end of the year.
Oh god,
we're getting 4 hours.
I'm not watching this movie 3 times. I'm not. That movie was so
fucking dumb. It was
you're gonna make us watch that, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
I'll watch it.
I'm excited.
I don't mind watching.
You're crazy, dude. I like you, but you're crazy.
And now we can't go, we can get so-and-so to take my seat because now we have too many fucking microphones.
I know, right? I can't bow out anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We got a lot of stuff to watch this week.
Yes, we do. Yeah. Next week's show is going to be great. We have a stacked week here at the studio. Of course, we've got Nerdrotics meetup here. We've got Geeks and Gamers showing up. We've got Film Threat with Chris Gore. We've Shagsworth is coming in. Like, check out all of your favorite creators on YouTube. Chances are, if they're in Vegas, they will be at our studio.
Yeah, Matt, aren't we doing some stuff with side scrollers this week?
Yep, Thursday morning and Friday morning we're going to be on side scrollers.
Perfect.
Twofer. Awesome.
Yeah, man.
Twofer on the side scrollers. That's pretty wild.
I'm down to hang out.
Shout
with
out
cool
to
people.
Blabs and Stuttering Craig.
I'm sure he'll love talking to you guys about Helldivers.
Oh, dude, I'll talk all day about Helldivers.
So yeah. Make sure everybody turns into side scrollers Thursday and Friday morning.
Excuse me, sir. Do you have time to talk about our Lord and Savior Helldivers? For liberty and democracy. All right, guys, go follow those major orders. Go take down those automatons. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're brand new here. Join up as a membership. Thank you guys all so much for your super chats. Let me read them off real quick. We've got let's see. GJJ has been a member for 9 months. Thank you so much. Beard of Liberty, brand new to the channel. Thank you so much for joining up. Matthew, how do you say his last name again? Verlack. Thank you so much for the $4.99. Appreciate it. William Forbes, as always, it is a pleasure. We cannot wait for you to come out to Vegas. We hope you're doing better, buddy. Get well, fix those issues, come out and hang out with us.
That's right.
Late Night with Cap, thank you so much for the super chats. Really do appreciate it. And of course, a big thank you to Regis Red for becoming a new member, Mr. Anderson as well. And You Fucked Up Bitch, thank you so much for the $1.99. Let's see who else we got. Regis Red again for another $10. Red Dawn. Did I read that one? Did I miss that?
No.
$10 for Red Dawn. Did I read it? Okay, cool. Sorry.
Dawn of the Dead. Great movie.
Check it out. Captain.
Destiny Captain, member for 6 months. Jennifer, how do you say that? Selkie is the head of Amazon streaming. Very well. That's not a good sign. All right, folks. We're going to end it. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. Make sure to check out all of those YouTubers that are going to be hanging out in our studio this week. It's going to be a ton of fun. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter. We'll have videos and photos dropping, I'm sure. It's going to be a great week here in Vegas. And if you're in our town, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. It's a great place. We're going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah, and Blaine.
Yeah.
Tell people where they can get Criticless.
Yeah. Criticless.com, and you can download the app, and we push everybody to web because that way Apple and Google don't do things to us. So, but yeah, Criticless.com. Come check us out. And I guess the last thing I want to say is pack rim.
Pack rim. Let's go.
No. All right, folks. Where am I at? Here we go. Stay salty. We'll see you next time. Hey, folks. Thanks so much for watching this live stream. If you want to watch our previous live stream, make sure to click right here. Or if you would like to check out one of our favorite highlights, click right here.